The voice of reason, James Whale on Talk Radio.
Mr. Lee.
Happy royal baby birthday, James. I'm so excited.
Good. Well,
at last it's come.
Yep.
Happy. It's what a celebration. You must be so thrilled.
I have done my bit for the royal baby, and
what you saying? You're not the dad, are you?
No.
Good,
I've
good,
done
good.
my bit. I've just said yes, very nice, and
No, it's a great. It's a celebration.
But today,
being
more
British.
than that, you shaved your beard off. Are you
Yeah, I
sure
shaved
that was
off
a
about
wise
a
thing?
month ago, mate.
Yeah, but you shaved it again, haven't
Well, I had a
you?
shave today.
Yeah, I didn't.
But I
shave
cut my face.
Yeah. Oh, I've cut my finger off.
We're not cutting
Well,
it
not off, but I put a hole in it.
I've got a scar.
Yeah. Today is a legendary day. Today, in my view, is Margaret Thatcher Day.
There we go.
Margaret Thatcher.
Well, this is a great day to be British.
Great.
Come prime ministers. Then we're talking prime ministers.
That is a horrid possibility. No, I don't think it is. I'll tell you who the next prime minister of this country is going to be.
Yes. Derek Okora.
No. Oh, is he still around?
Yes.
Oh, right,
He's
okay.
still doing that.
Yeah.
Still doing
Really?
that.
Do you know, that was the best thing I ever did, was get Derek Okora on my show. And I think we had so many phone calls one night from people. But then I was always being reminded by Ofcom, you must say that this is just a party trick.
Oh, come on, guys. These people can speak to... It's not for entertainment. It's not party.
Yeah,
this is
of course,
actually
they
communicating
actually
with those
speak
who've
to dead
passed.
people, yeah.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
And there are so many dead people, they're all around, they all want to talk to us.
They're all here now.
Yeah. I'll
Some of
leave
them
you
phone us.
to
Paul from
Ian,
Stoke
who's
Poges.
talking to them in a moment.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
It wasn't even good enough for this shit.
If I were the king of England, if I were the Queen of England, I would declare today a bank holiday. Yes, royal baby. It's better than you, scum. It's better than you, scum. It's better than me, scum. It's better than all of us. We are scum. Kneel before a baby that's about 6 hours old. Kneel before it. It's better than you. It's better than me. This baby is better than all of us. Where people go, oh, it's not better than... Yes, it is. It is. It's seventh in line to the throne. Are you? No. The baby is the greatest thing that can happen. Genuinely, not even being sarcastic now. This is the thing that we needed to bring this country together. That's what we needed. And I don't... we don't like spreading rumours on this show, but word is coming in on some of the news channels. We won't officially say it until it's confirmed, but news is coming in that the name Raheem is being chosen. The name Raheem is being chosen. That's only a rumour at the moment. We can't guarantee that. But this is the best thing that can happen to this country at the moment. We're torn apart by Brexit. We're torn apart by people who watch Game of Thrones and people who don't watch Game of Thrones. We're torn apart by the new Avengers movie not being as good as everyone said it was going to be. But this is the one thing that can bring us together. My name's Iain Lee. Good evening.
People being cross about Morse code in Line of Duty. I don't know what that is, but I haven't watched it. But
spoiler.
I feel for everyone.
Spoiler.
Everyone's been talking about it.
No. Yeah, but okay. I haven't seen this week's episode of Line of Duty.
You haven't seen any of them?
I haven't seen any of them. No, I plan to play catch up at some point when I lose this job. So maybe this summer. I haven't seen any of them. But could you do that camera for me, please? But this is the thing, right? This is a great day, and people will say, well, she's just... Well, screw you guys. It's a royal baby. A little bit further. It's a royal baby. This is important. That's it. This is important. This is a great day to celebrate. It's a new life. And it's not just everyone's going, well, all babies... excuse me. All babies are precious, and we should celebrate the birth of all babies. Not compared to this one, they're not. They're not as precious. All right, all babies are precious. They're not as precious as this one. This one is more precious. This one is more important. When you've got two babies in a hospital, right, one of them's this, one of them's Wahid, and the other one is a normal baby, and there's a man with a gun. Well, I'm going to shield Royal Prince Wahid. That's what I'm going to shield. More important.
The other babies aren't going to be like a pull-out special in the Daily Mail. They're not going to be a free souvenir edition calendar next year. No, they're not.
Tomorrow's Daily Mail and tomorrow's Daily Express. Get me 5 of each now before they sell out. Royal baby pull out special. Get me. I'm in. This is what I want. This is what I desire. This is great news. I think they're a beautiful couple. I think she's a beautiful young woman, very talented. She adds a touch of glamour to the royal family that's sorely missing. I think it's great that she's an American because it can only build bridges. Not that far, literally, but you know what I mean. I think he's a great prince. He's had, okay. So he dressed up as a Nazi at a party. Okay, he did a nudie party. Okay, he wasn't very nice to Chelsea. Okay.
But he was a soldier.
He served in the front line, and said I wasn't going to cry. All I'm going to say is Lady Diana. That's what I'm going to say. So this, excuse me, this is a great day. It's a great day to be British. It's a great day for politics. It's a great day for religion. It's a great day for royalty. It's a great day for Britain. Sing hosannas. And if that baby comes near me, I will kneel before it. I will kneel before the baby Wahid. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Now, here's an interesting thing I want to put out there. I've put forward... Oh, what have we got coming up after 11, Bolly?
Oh, I was going to go and do like a solo interview with like interesting people and that.
Sorry, was that to me or to the listeners? Because I don't know if they do know that. I do know that because it was my idea.
We did discuss it. It
was my idea.
We discussed it on air.
I told you to do it.
Paying attention.
So if this thing is good, right, even though it's entirely made and done by Katherine, if this thing is good, what's my idea for her to go out and interview people? Okay, well then that's like 80% my credit. 80% my credit. And 15% your credit and 5% Amy's credit for pressing play. So, just putting it out there. and I'll let you in a second. I just have to clarify, it was my idea. I suggested it to Katherine that she go out and record interviews with interesting people. That's all I want to say. But apart from that, it's yours.
Okay. So on Tuesday, I went out to meet the first person who is she's just brilliant. Her name is Rebecca.
Yeah.
She is a non-binary person.
Yeah. Can't do maths. Made myself laugh.
She can do maths.
Oh.
She's excellent at maths, actually.
She knows what 6 and 9 is.
She needs it for a very serious day job that she has.
Okay. We'll find out more later?
No, you won't find out about that. You find out about her Twilight job.
Oh, okay. So we're going to play that out after 11. Going out as a cheeky pod as well?
Yeah, an extended podcast.
Oh, I
A little bit
like...
more political stuff in there.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. I like that. 0344 499 1000. So we'll have to after 11. Here's the thing I want to put out as something potentially to do this week, right? No spoilers tonight. I saw the new Avengers film, Endgame, on Sunday. I rewatched Infinity War on Saturday with my kids who hadn't seen it. The youngest fell asleep. Rewatched Infinity War. I love Infinity War. I think it's great. I think it's powerful. I think the fight sequences are unlike anything I've ever seen before. I found the ending to Infinity War incredibly moving. And as someone who doesn't really read up about these movies before I go to them, I was completely shocked at the ending of Infinity War. Basically, and this is a spoiler, but this film came out last year or the year before. As you know, at the end of Infinity War, a lot of the superheroes die, including Spider-Man and Black Panther, and so a lot of them die. But it's a great film, Infinity War. It's tense, it's exciting, it's fast-paced, it's dramatic, it's moving, it's funny, a little bit in places. I went and saw... Hang on a second. Yes, line 3, you're on the wireless. No, you're gone. I took the boys last night to see Endgame. The good news is, it's 3 hours long. Good news is, I did need a pee during it, but I managed to hold it in. So that is, as far as I'm concerned, is a victory.
Good news for the next person.
No spoilers. But I found it quite disappointing. Can you just mute the computer because it's buzzing a bit, Amy? Thank you. I enjoyed it. First of all, I enjoyed it, right? Didn't enjoy it anywhere near as much as Infinity War. Having seen them, literally 24 hours apart, I felt very well placed to compare them. Didn't feel as... I thought it was okay. With some really good bits and some really awful bits. No spoilers. I'm not even going to hint at what I think the awful bits are. Don't worry. Okay, so don't panic. And the more I think about it, the more I feel... I don't want to say cheated, because what do they owe me? They don't owe me anything. Well, apart from giving them 10 years of loyal customership. I just don't think it was very good. And I hesitantly... don't think it was very good in comparison to certainly Infinity War and the others. And I hesitate, because it had great reviews everywhere. It's taken $2 billion. It's the second highest grossing film after Titanic.
Right. And I heard someone talking about it, saying that the other film was 2.6 or whatever billion.
Yeah.
Oh, they were 2.6 and the other one was 2.8, but that was the entire run, and this is just like the first week.
Here's the problem I have with comparing this with a film from Titanic 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. Well, cinema tickets are like probably double what they were 20 years ago. I always have that when they said, well, it's the highest grossing film since something that came out 10 years ago. I think, well, yeah, but cinema tickets are way more expensive. So I don't know how that... Anyway, I was disappointed, and I hesitantly... let me tell you, I hesitantly tweeted, I saw Endgame last night. I thought it was okay. Expecting a pile-on. And this was me being tentative. Loads of people go, yeah, I agree. Yeah. Pete, who listens to the show... But Pete, if you tweet me the link to that, I'll retweet it. Pete wrote a really good... comes to some of our shows, wrote a really good piece about Endgame. And there was like there's one kind of theme in this film that is like the comedy theme, and we both thought it was totally inappropriate. It was cheap. It was cheap, and the film deserved better than cheap. All of the Avengers films and the spin-off films, classy. They straddle that line between family and adult movies, and this one didn't. It felt cheap, and a load of people said, "Yeah, no, I agree. It wasn't." Now, you could partly argue, well, okay, it's never going to live up to the hype, right? But and if I hadn't have watched the previous one the night before, then maybe I'd think I was falling into the hype thing. But I'd watched Infinity War the night before, and so it was fresh in my mind. That was a great movie. That was a great movie. Endgame. So here's what I want to do, right? And we need to discuss this because you're a little bit behind.
I've only just watched the first. I've only just watched Avengers Assemble. I know that technically the first one is Iron Man, but I'm really trying to catch up.
Already she's doing it. There's like 25 movies.
I know.
I didn't watch the first Thor movie, so you don't need to watch that. But I would really like to, 1 hour this week, dear listener, with your permission, and I'm thinking we do it like at midnight, one night, okay, so that people who aren't interested or who don't want spoilers switch off. And it's unusual to do a phone-in where you say, right, if this is what we're going to talk about Avengers Endgame. I'm just going to say Endgame from now on because Avengers, it's 4 syllables. That's I'm going to say myself 4 syllables. So Avengers Endgame and Avengers Infinity War. Again, I'm going to drop the first 4 syllables, Infinity War. I want to do an hour where we talk about the film and we talk about what you honestly thought about it and we do spoilers. Sorry?
I don't want to do that.
Why is that?
Because I haven't seen him and I'm way behind.
Okay, well,
so
how long is it going to take you to catch up?
More than a week.
Okay, well, Kat's out. Anybody else in? This is a genuine question for you, dear listener. I don't know. I mean, it's a really niche thing and we would be losing a lot of our already slightly small audience. But cause I haven't got any friends. Basically, what I'm saying is I don't have any friends with whom... Hello, caller, what do you want? Right, stop phoning in. I don't have any friends with whom I can sit and discuss this film, so I would like to pass that baton on to you, dear listener. Would you like an hour this week where we talk about Endgame with spoilers? We go through all the plot twists and the turns, and we'll keep putting out during the thing that this is what we're talking about, so if people tune in accidentally, they will be warned off. Would you be up for that? I think it would be interesting. I think it would be geeky as hell. Could you not just put your fingers in your ear and go la 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 la?
For an hour?
Yeah.
No.
Well, you don't really
I'm
pay
supposed to listen.
You don't really pay attention anyway.
No, but I'm supposed to listen.
Supposed to. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. This is a Bank Holiday Royal Baby Endgame special on Talk Radio with Iain Lee and Katherine Boyle.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.
0344 499 1000. This is the last time we're going to take...
placed on hold.
Oh, it's some guy. Don't answer the withheld thing. It's some guy putting us through to other people. OK, well, we won't answer the withheld numbers. Thank you for that. Let's go to Damo. Good evening, Damo.
Hey, Ian, Kat, how you doing?
Doing all right, mate. What you got for us?
Well, it's a bit outdated now because...
Did we... Hang on a minute. Stop talking. Did we send that card off to Morgan?
Oh, no.
Yeah, we did. I just remembered. All right. Unbelievable. She's... anyway, I mean...
I remember you trying to find it.
Right, find that. Yes, Damo.
Did the word outdated fire that off in your head?
Something fired something off in my head.
Yeah.
So we got there.
Yeah.
We got there, buddy. Happy Royal Birthday, Baby Day.
Yeah, back to it. Margaret Thatcher. She was the best of the best of the best, apart from Winston Churchill. No, actually, I think they're parallel.
Why are you calling me about Margaret Thatcher?
Because the point is...
You've been drinking.
And listening to James Whale.
No, well, a little bit of the both.
A little bit of the... Katherine, we can judge his sobriety by the term... A little bit of the both. that says it all. A little bit of the both. That's something my boy would say. And he's 7, but he's also a heavy drinker.
Not very good English, is it? No. What it is...
I don't really care about Margaret Thatcher.
No, I don't, but...
Then why have you phoned up a radio show to talk about her?
No, because the point is, I wanted to say, I used to think about her to stop ejaculating.
OK, thanks very much for your call, Damo. There we go. 0344 499 1000. All right, some people saying an hour is too long. Maybe we do half an hour. It is the biggest popular cultural phenomenon in a long time. And this is the thing. Stacey and Dean are saying, don't do it. But maybe it is a bad idea. But I think it is. I don't want to do it on Twitch. I don't want to do it on Twitch. By the way, starting from tomorrow morning, 11 a.m, every weekday, almost, I'm going to be doing a daily Twitch stream. Retro games, mental health chat, silliness, some dancing, and maybe some Skype phone calls as well. Twitch.tv/Iain Lee. Follow, subscribe if you want. Every morning from 11 a.m. Some might be 20 minutes, some might be a couple of hours. We'll just see how it goes. I've ordered a Sega Saturn. You know, these are fun times. These are fun times. I found my digital voice, and boy, oh boy, I'm going to use it. How about 30 minutes? Just do 30 minutes. It is a big popular cultural phenomenon. And, you know, sometimes we have guests on that some of you guys don't like, and that alienates people and stuff like that. I just think, I think it's a big movie, and I would like to discuss it. Maybe 30 minutes. Maybe we don't do it for an hour. 30 minutes. 30 minutes at 12:30 on like a Thursday night. Come on. No one's listening anyway, apart from sad people. Did I just call our listeners sad people?
Yeah, you did.
That is awkwado. Let's go to Stefan. Good evening, Stefan.
Hi there, Ian. It's, as you know, my name's Stefan. I just wanted to say that I would absolutely love to do the Endgame hour with you.
Okay, well, we've already might be cutting it down to half an hour, as some people are complaining.
I did hear that, but I would love the hour if you could squeeze it in, but if not, half an hour would be awesome anyway.
I'd love to squeeze it in with you, Stefan. Are you a fan of... No spoilers, please, otherwise you will be tarred and feathered and whipped. Are you a fan of the Avengers movies?
I am, yeah, ever since the beginning. Since the first Iron Man, I've loved them all.
Even Iron Man too?
I'm in the same situation as you. I don't have many friends to go with me, and my girlfriend hates them. So I don't have too many people to chat with them about, but I am an Uber driver, so I get the odd customer to have a chat.
There you go. Well, you're the kind of Uber driver I want and I need, animal. So did you see it? And no spoilers, what did you think of it?
I loved it.
Really?
I thought it was great. I do agree with a bit of what you said. Some of the comedy was a bit tacky for the Avengers movies. I'm trying not to...
No, I know, and I think I know... I think we're talking on the same level. I think we're talking on the same level. There was only really one sort of comedy strand, and I just thought it was beneath them.
Yeah, no, I agree. But without saying anything about what happened, I do feel that things got tied up. All the ends got tied up quite nicely, and it did come to a decent conclusion. Yeah,
after 3 flipping hours and some flimsy narrative. Stefan, we have to be careful because we don't want any spoilers. No, we're not spoiling community here at the Late Night Alternative. It's not what we do. Stefan, keep listening. Maybe Thursday, maybe. Keep listening, Stefan, and thank you, man. Thank you for your hard work as an Uber driver. Also, peace and love to my black cab driving listeners out there, my minicab drivers. I think we can all unite. Uber, minicab, black cab drivers. I think we can all unite against those scum that ride those little pedalo things, the little rickshaw things. It turns out, you told me they've got motors in those rickshaws. So what are you paying for? What are you paying for? You're paying for the garish lights, the loud music. We can all agree that those guys is scum. Let's go to Alan Caddick. Good evening, Alan.
Hi, Mark.
Hello, Alan.
Oh, I've got some good news on me mum.
She's had a baby.
She's back on the ward.
Yay!
She's had the critical care.
Excellent.
She's back on the ward.
Excellent. I had to go to hospital today.
Why? What happened?
I died.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You're back with us, that's the main thing.
No, this is my lifeless corpse. This is you're listening to a recording. Catherine's inserted a tape recorder up my butthole, and this is a recording coming through the mouth of my lifeless corpse.
Oh, why?
It's actually better than when he was alive.
Isn't it?
I didn't know.
Isn't it? Oh, well, I'm dead chuffed for you, Alan. It must be a big relief for everybody.
Yeah, and I want to talk about something else that's happened in the news.
Oh, go on. Is it Royal Baby Birthday?
Plane crash.
Sorry?
This Russian plane crash.
This Russian... OK, go on then. Alan's going to talk about the Russian plane crash. OK.
This is going to be done sensitively, everyone.
Conspiracy involved.
You go on. What's the conspiracy with it? What did he say? I heard a report today that the pilot... What did he blame it on? Can you Google it, Kathy?
Lightning, was it?
Was it lightning? Is that what you said? Okay, lightning.
I saw the Daily Mail already saying that there was an oversized passenger who got in the way of everyone else and is probably to blame for their deaths.
Nice bit of fact shaming.
Yeah.
Hashtag fake news.
Probably rubbish. Well, what's your conspiracy then, Alan?
I think it's something to do with ISIS.
Okay, that's great. Okay, that's fair enough. And that's something that, unfortunately, in this day and age, we all have to consider when these kind of things happen. Can I ask, Alan? What's your evidence?
Well, because Putin ordered an investigation, and we all know what happened in America where Putin got involved.
What happened in America with Putin got involved?
He elected President Trump.
Well, he didn't, though.
Well, I think there's some conspiracy with the Americans and the Russians.
Okay, but he didn't. There was a big... If I got this right, wasn't there a big investigation by Muller Rice? You know the pots where it's... You know, not the rice, the corners. You know the corners where you peel it off and it's like a sort of square, but split into two triangles. One's big and one's small. And in one side it's like that delicious Muller yoghurt, and the other side it might be jam or chocolate or cornflakes or something. You tip it in. Well, those guys did a big jam. Do you remember we used to get, like, custard with jam in the middle? Do you ever have that, Kath?
Yes.
Oh, I love it. What I would do for a big bowl of hot custard with jam, custard made from custard powder with jam. I went for a roast, Alan, on Sunday at the local pub, took my boys, and I'm going to try the golf club next time. Apparently they're excellent as well. But
was that before Avengers Endgame?
That was before Avengers Endgame. For dessert...
I've seen that, and it's really good.
The dessert, treacle tart and custard. Treacle, tart and custard. No jam, though. But Muller Corners, I guess, did an investigation and they found that Russia was not involved in... Putin did not elect Donald Trump.
Well, they found no evidence of that, but they also said that that the president did interfere with the investigation.
OK. Just bear with me with 1 second, Alan.
Yeah?
Did you say that again, Katherine? Go on, sorry.
Trump would have been charged with obstruction if he wasn't president, say prosecutors.
Right,
That's tonight.
OK. I'm sorry, did I say that he wasn't... Did I say in that last bit that he hadn't been found? There wasn't evidence that he'd meddled. Did I say that?
I think so.
I don't think I did. Alan, stay out of this. I don't think I did, actually, Katherine.
You said that Putin had nothing to do with it.
I said Putin did not elect Donald Trump. There was no evidence that Putin elected Donald Trump. But sorry, your statement that Trump messed with Muller Corners, the investigation, that says that Putin is involved. How? Sorry, I don't quite follow.
Well, they couldn't find anything from what they were given, but they weren't allowed to investigate properly.
Changing what you're saying ever so slightly.
That's what they're saying.
No, Alan, just please stop breathing, mate, 'cause it's really pissing me off. You saying that there was no evidence that Putin was involved in the investigation, it was involved in the election, and then you're saying, but Trump tried to block the investigation, and you have extrapolated from...
No, I gave you those two
Please, excuse me, let me finish. This is important because you are libelling a great man. You have extrapolated from the statement... You have extrapolated... I will keep doing this all night if I have to. You have extrapolated from the statement...
I haven't.
...that Donald Trump didn't help the investigation. You've extrapolated that Putin was involved, despite the investigation finding no evidence that he was.
Found no evidence of it. That doesn't mean he wasn't involved.
Doesn't mean he wasn't involved, no. But
yeah, thank you.
No,
so you're extrapolating from...
No, you're going around in circles.
No, I'm not.
You're saying he's involved... Because Donald Trump...
I'm not saying that.
So
I'm saying
right.
there's no evidence that he wasn't.
So Donald... No. There's no... No. There was no... They weren't looking for... They weren't looking for evidence that he wasn't. They were looking for evidence that he was. And there was no evidence that he was.
And they were blocked from finding certain things.
Well, no. They weren't blocked from finding certain things. He got in the way, but they found all the things they needed to find.
No, they didn't.
Well, all right, liberal media. They didn't find the things... they didn't find the things that you would have liked to have found. Deal with it, Snowflake. Deal with it. So all I'm going to say is deal with DWIS. 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 Do you know what DWIS stands for, Alan?
No.
I literally just said it. Deal with it, Snowflake.
TTFN.
Okay.
The only response.
That got weird. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Okay. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You'd be very welcome. So far, we've talked about Endgame. No spoilers here. Would you like an Endgame 30 minutes where we do talk about it and we go into the intricacies of the plot? I was disappointed with it. Not because I don't think it lived up to the hype. I wasn't really following the hype. If I'm honest, I wasn't reading about it. Wasn't following the hype. I was excited to see it because I've enjoyed nearly all of the Avengers movies. I found Doctor Strange a little tedious, if I'm honest. I like the character, but I found the movie tedious. I didn't see the first Thor movie. But I'd watched Infinity War the night before, and I just thought it was a little bit disappointing. We've talked about Donald Trump. We've talked about the royal baby being better than you, because we are scum. And that baby is special. In many ways, blessed by Jesus. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. People getting wet panties and wet knickers and wet pants. Do you spell knickers with a K?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 Ks.
Okay. 3. I hate the word knickers. Where does knickerbockers, I guess. Mm-hmm. Okay. I hate the word knickers.
What do you prefer?
Panties.
Briefs?
No.
Panties?
Panties.
Panties?
For ladies, yes.
Ugh.
Panties. Are these your panties? I think they got into my wash. Pants for men, panties for women. I could go briefs if they're like those little shorts for women, but that's pushing it.
Yeah.
That's pushing it.
And then after a day, scuds.
Oh. Wait. Jesus. But people have been wetting their pants and panties and scuds because no spoilers, Katherine, because I haven't seen this week's episode of Game of Thrones.
I haven't either.
Okay. But, well, a spoiler, there's a coffee cup in it. Have you seen it?
I've seen it in the paper, yeah.
There's a coffee cup in it.
They must have done that on purpose.
Sorry?
They must have done that on purpose.
What do you mean? No one noticed it. What do you mean they must have done that on purpose?
Well...
Why would they do that on purpose?
They've been doing it for, this is the umpteenth episode.
Yeah, they dropped the ball.
No.
They dropped the ball. The whole series is cancelled. They should... Sky or whomsoever shall show it, should pull it and say, well, we apologise. This is beyond embarrassing. This is shameful. You deserve better. And yes... Things kind of dropped off after season 5 when we overtook the books that the guy had written and we started going off on our own tangents. We appreciate that. We got that. We think we handled that kind of well. I know some of you were disappointed. I think, in fact, some of you actually thought they were better after we got rid of the boring books and we started making up our own. Once we started using TV people instead of library people. But having a Starbucks coffee cup on a table in a wizard's lair... is unforgivable. We apologise. We will not be showing the rest of the episodes as a mark of respect.
I think it's good. There's Starbucks everywhere. Why not in Westeros?
I think it's good. They should. Do you know what should happen? Is the producer should be held up by...
Producer?
No, the producers should be... Let me work this out. The producers should be holding up young boys by their throats...
Oh.
And then the young boy should drop a knife into their other hand and stab them.
Or young woman.
Is that what it was? So hard to tell when you don't watch it. When you've
never seen
it. When the only bit of Game of Thrones you've ever seen was in Gogglebox. That was the only bit I've ever seen. The bit they showed in Gogglebox. And to be honest, it looked crap.
No, it didn't. It's great.
It looked ridiculous, man. They've all got big fluffy coats on and it's all snowy and there's coffee cups in
Cold, isn't it? Winter's come.
Winter?
That's the whole point.
Winter's what?
Come.
Where's that? That'll be why. No. 0344 499 1000. Here's a voice we don't hear very often. Ever since I voted Brexit, it's Katia.
Hello.
Zut alors.
Good evening.
Good evening to you.
Yes.
It is so nice to be speaking to you.
Are you speaking French?
This evening, how you say welcome
Bienvenue.
to the radio votre how you say thank you, merci, thank you. Talk radio. It is very, very please let me speak. Let me speak. Moi votre aussi. Les légumes pour la chanceleur, Johnny Holiday,
La chatte.
What are you swearing for? La chien, moi aussi, très, pardon, fermez la bouche. Moi, I cannot say this in English as it is too how you say emotional, oui. Too emotional for me, so I speak in my native français. Moi désolé pour la Notre-Dame. Moi désolé pour la Notre-Dame. Moi fumier.
Yes,
Moi fumier sur la Notre-Dame. Moi très soleil. Très soleil. Très soleil.
C'est bon, très soleil.
Katia, please.
Are we finished?
What would you like? Anglais, so difficult. Please, Katia, please, would you like now to speaking be to England or Angleterre? Oui.
Shut up.
Oui. Merci. Au revoir. No, Katia, please to be speaking, please to be speaking to England, Scotland, and the Wales, and the Sudost Ireland. What would you like to say? What would you like to say? What would you, Katia? What would you like to say? What? Please. Excusez-moi.
Let me talk.
No, mate.
Oui.
No, mate.
Oui.
No. Please. What would you like to say?
I want to say. I want. Don't hang up. Please. I can't remember why I don't call anymore now. Okay, so I wanted to say, hello. Is there anyone still there?
Hello.
What would you like to say?
I wanted to say, I don't know what Twitch is. What is Twitch? What is Twitch?
Twitch.
Qu'est-ce que c'est le Twitch?
Qu'est-ce que c'est le Twitch? Ah, le Twitch, c'est dans l'internet, jouer la vidéogame, et la vidéocaméra, et la vidéogame. Please tell Katherine, please tell Katia what I say to vous.
C'est comme YouTube pour les geeks.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
And that's why you're big then, is it?
It is why he's big.
Très grande.
Okay, so that's number one thing that I know about now. The other thing is...
Numéro 2. Numéro 2. 1, 2.
You're talking about Avengers Frontline or something like that.
Alan John's Frontline.
Who's Alan John? Elton John.
Avengers.
Actually means Elton John.
The Avengers?
I don't think Alan John is in it. He's starring. How you say? Robert Downey Petit.
Ingénieur.
Robert
Downey Jr.
Le Chaplin.
Oui.
Les
Oui.
Cocagne. Cocagne est là dans la présidentielle. Robert Downey Petit. Please say to her, please say to her. Et la Chaplin et la Cocagne.
Tu connais Robert Downey, non?
Qui? De Robert De Niro?
Non, Robert Downey Jr.
Ah oui, je vois.
Lui,
oui.
alors.
Non, Alain Jean.
Mais Alain Jean,
non.
il n'est pas là.
Non, Alain Jean.
Ah, il joue pas dedans.
Ah, non.
So that's all there is to it.
Mais oui.
C'est
merci pour la
oui, merci.
anglaise.
Au revoir.
Merci pour thank you for being a friend to me when my dog died.
Okay.
Thank you for being a friend to me when my mama died.
Okay.
Thank you for making me cakes when my grandpapa died. Thank you for cleaning my window when my daddy died.
Your window?
Thank you for painting the door
Are you
when my mommy died.
Are you taking the piss? Oh?
Thank you for pardon, excusez-moi.
Oui.
Peut-être d'accord là on now l'ami téléphone now. We talk to Lavigne now.
Okay, d'accord. Okay,
Now we c'est so
c'est très compliqué.
Oui, très compliqué. Katia,
oui,
c'est bonjour to Vinny.
D'accord.
Hello.
Allô? Vinny?
Hi.
Ah. Hang on. Hello. How are you? Hello.
Yeah, I'm good.
How are you? Yeah.
How was your bank holiday?
Yeah, my bank holiday is just finished. Was a bit rubbish, really. What about yours?
The weather was good, though.
Huh?
The weather was pretty good.
The weather was good. Well, you're down in London, are you?
No, yeah. I didn't do anything, but it was pretty good, though.
Oh, yeah. You're a busy man.
So, who's speaking French?
I'm not.
Why was Iain speaking French or doing a French accent?
Well, because he thinks I can't speak English. Obviously, I can because I'm speaking to you.
Yeah, but you're not French.
I'm not French, no.
Was Iain implying that you are French?
I think so, yeah.
That's racist.
That's a bit rude.
Yeah, I'm racist.
I think I should complain, really. So what?
Yeah, you should complain to Ofcom.
What? Ofcom?
Complain? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about that. Yeah.
You might lose your job, though.
Who?
Iain.
Iain?
Iain.
That's just,
if you complain.
If I complain, he might, yeah. So maybe I'm not gonna, yeah, I'm gonna think about it. Would you like me to complain?
Okay, this call is, how do you say, le chien? Le chien.
Okay, Vin.
Le sheet.
Hello?
This call is sheet. This call is merde. Merde. Very boring. You are ennuyeux. You are boring me.
What's French for boring?
Ennuyeux.
Vinny.
Touché, turtle.
Ouais.
Au revoir, Vinny.
Vinny.
Right.
Au revoir, Katia.
Okay.
Au revoir, l'audience, pour la commerciale de la Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash. On Talk Radio.
0344 499 or 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. It's Bank Holiday Monday. Wasn't it Bank Holiday Monday last week?
Oh, it's always Bank Holiday Monday.
Flipping heck, man. It's too many. There's too many of them. It's just boring. Let's go to Lee. Good evening, Lee.
Good evening.
Lee, what you got for us, big man?
Oh,
tough
I
guy.
just want to talk about my football team getting promoted to Premier League, Sheffield United.
Okay, you're going to have to talk about it on your own because I don't know anything about it and I don't care, but go on.
Oh, well, my son-in-law and my daughter are travelling back to Newcastle, big Wednesday fans, and I know they listen to Talk Radio.
Yes.
So, Alex and Sass, I just want to say about my football team getting promoted and your football team not. It's been a brilliant season for the Blades. If you don't know about football, you should get into it. You should watch Sheffield United.
Well, hang on. Wait, what makes you think I haven't watched football?
Oh, you said you didn't know anything about it.
I don't like it. I've watched it and it's boring.
Really? What's your sport?
Well, how much would it blow your mind if I told you I don't have a sport?
Oh, really? Everybody's got a sport.
No, that, my friend, is your problem. No, they don't.
Oh, surely to God they do.
No, they don't.
What's your pastimes then? What do you do in your pastime?
I masturbate.
Hey, there's no wrong with that.
There's that wrong with that. I don't have a sport. I read. I play video games.
Oh, Fortnite.
No, I don't play Fortnite actually.
Oh, best video.
What are you drinking? What are you drinking? What are you drinking? You're drinking from a can.
I'm supping my coffee.
Jeez, well, maybe could you wait like 30 seconds?
Yeah, sorry about that.
It sounds disgusting. Jeez, man.
Yeah, it's big ignorant, isn't it?
It's what?
It's big ignorant.
It is. And also, having a coffee at 10 minutes to 11 at night. Are you insane? You're not going to sleep.
Oh, I'll sleep. Oh, no, I don't need to sleep. I don't need to sleep tonight.
What? This is weird. Why? Are you on a promise?
I'm always on a promise.
Okay.
Always.
There we go. Well, congratulations that your men kicked a ball well, in the right direction, more than other teams.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Okay, there we go. And that was my problem in the jungle. Who's your football team? Don't have one. What do you mean? I'm not into football. Right. What's your sport then? And that was it. And I was asked that 5 times by the same person. Thanks, Dennis. 5 times. And then I made the mistake of telling him that I saw a magician before I went in the jungle. So he thought that magic was magic was to me was like football was to him. To the point where when he met my sister, who really disliked him, he said, "Yeah, he's a strange one, your brother, and he's really into his magic, isn't he?" No, I've been to see a magician. I quite like magic, not like really into it. No, I'm not. Spending 60 quid for a ticket to see a magician every Saturday and travelling up and down the country to see the same magician.
And then being in a mood when it's not a good show.
when he muffs a trick up. So
and swearing at him.
and being racist to all of his mates because they muffed up a trick. Don't do that. There we go. Well, that's...
That sport's sorted.
I've got a scratch on my face.
Yeah.
I'm being very brave about it. It's probably going to scar up. Big scratch on my cheek. And I got that. Get this. I got a scratch on my face today through wiping my face with a flannel. A soft, white, brand new, never been used before. I bought some white, soft cotton flannels from IKEA. And I'd never used them. The first time I used it, I've ripped my face open. It's incredible. Look at that. It's a big old scar there. It's going to ruin me. It's going to absolutely ruin me for life. So I'm being very brave about it. I did go to the hospital today, not because of that, but because my youngest had them all weekend. We had such a good weekend. And then today we went to a park. I found a new park. And we went to this park, some new rides and stuff on it. And they went on this weird... I've never seen a ride like it. It was like a big pole up in the middle, up about 20 feet. Then hanging down like the sides of a pyramid or a triangle were these 2 bars. And it's not the ones you hang on. You sit on them. And then it kind of spins round and sort of wobbles and stuff. So we got there and there was a dad and his son were on it. And we waited a bit. And then the dad said, "All right, son, let's get off, let them have a go." But the boy didn't. So then my eldest had to go on with this other boy.
My kids are a little bit sensitive when it comes to rides, so I was pushing them, and then the other kids going, "Come on, Dad, give us a real push." So this other guy was pushing them too much, right? And my eldest didn't like it, so I got him off. And then my youngest went on and had a go. And he liked it for a bit, and then he didn't like it when it got too aggressive. And I looked away for a second, and as I looked round, the boy was off. My boy was off, but he'd hurt his foot, and basically it come down too fast, and he caught his foot under it. And I felt I did some bad dadding, because I should have said to the guy, do you mind just, if you're going to do it fast, I'll take my boys off. You do it fast for your lad, and then we'll go. I should have done that, and I let him down a little bit. Anyway, he knackered his foot, and I was going to take him home, but then suddenly he went very pale. He went bright grey, dull grey. I've never seen anyone go grey. He was grey, and he nearly passed out. And I thought, oh God, man, I got to take this boy to the hospital. This is bank holiday, and so we went to the hospital, and we were there for 3 hours. They were great. Stoke Mandeville A&E, thank you. And he went for a little X-ray, and he was in a lot of pain, and he couldn't walk, and in a lot of pain, couldn't walk. He loved it because he was in a wheelchair. And then, as we went for the X-ray, he got up and started dancing. I went, what is this? Oh, I feel better now. Oh, mate, come on. I said, look, we're here now. Just sit down. Let's limp a little bit. Let's get this done and then get out of here. But, so that was my bank holiday. Anyway, another 2 hours. Oh, no, not another 2 hours of this. When we come back, we'll have something a little bit different for you, which I think you're going to enjoy. So I'm not even going to give out the phone number just now. We don't want any phone calls for a little bit when we come back. I'll explain it all in a second. But I can tell you, if you want to get podcasts are plenty. There's the best of this show. What you're about to hear will go out on an extended podcast. And there's also Rabbit Hole podcast. If you go to Acast or iTunes, type in Iain Lee, Katherine Boyle, Talk Radio, Rabbit Hole, something will come up. Stay tuned. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Here we go. Don't call in for a bit, please, for this now. Don't call in for a bit. You can call in for a bit. Call in for a bit. We got. That's listening as well. This is the late night alternative. Weeknights from 10. Yeah. Ooh, baby. Iain Lee and Katherine Boyle. You can listen on app. You can download the Talk Radio app or other apps. You can go online or on DAB. Katherine, what have we got now?
Well, earlier in the year, we decided, or you suggested, that I should go out and do some interviews on my own.
Do some work.
Right.
There was about time. In our fourth year, I thought it was time maybe you got off your Harris.
I
Went and
would
did a little bit of work.
suggest
I
it.
worked so hard. I've done my back in.
Have you?
Yeah, carrying this show for so long. Over to you.
Oh, okay. Well, let me take some of that burden.
Please do.
I
While I pour some sugar
have
on
decided I'm going to go out and meet like loads of interesting people. There isn't really a theme to it other than that they're all intriguing personalities living lifestyles that not necessarily everyone would have an insight into, right? So, interesting people to go and chat to. And I'm a nosy person. Well, the first person who accepted my offer of going out to meet them was Rebecca. And she's just someone that I'd kind of spotted on Twitter. I don't want to say too much because I kind of say this in the introduction to the thing.
That's what I always do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's just a really, really remarkable person, really interesting. There's loads more to her than you get in this sort of 45-minute bit. We're going to do a longer version for the podcast, but even that is only scraping the surface. But you get what you get, and you don't get upset. So here you go. This is a thing I made for you. I hope you like it.
95% of the men who've come to see me, they've never been anywhere near a trans girl before, and they're not gay. That's what they all tell me, every single one, and I know that the vast majority of them are not telling the truth.
Do you feel sorry for them?
No, because I know what I'm going to do to them.
Exciting times, because I have been talking on Twitter on and off for about 6 months, do you think, maybe more?
Yeah.
To a listener to the show who I find absolutely fascinating, and so I wanted you to meet her, and it's Rebecca.
Hello.
This is Rebecca. It's so nice to meet you.
It is, lovely.
And at the same time, it's so strange to see a voice coming out of the face I recognise so much. It's really nice to put a voice to the face. So, we're here with you at one of your places of work.
That's right, yes. I have two places of work. One which you might call a daylight place of work, and one that might be more of a twilight one. And this is the twilight one.
Because you said to me, OK, come and meet me here, it's a bit weird, and that's all you gave me. So, as we walked in, we met a manageress of what is a sort of meeting place, a club, and it has annexes for you.
Yes, it has a social club area, and then an annex that's perhaps a little bit more private, and this is where I like to work from.
Right.
Yes.
So, in case anyone hasn't guessed, your work, I'm looking around this workroom, and I can see, what would we call this, a hoist? I can see a pole. There are various kind of...
various restraints.
Restraints, OK.
Putting it.
That's the technical term. There's a little catwalk here as well. Yeah, you're not a fashion model, are you?
No.
Although, you could be. Oh my God, I've never felt shorter.
Yes, when I've got these shoes on, I'm about 6'5".
Wow. So tell me about Rebecca.
Rebecca is a very important part of me. I've got, I suppose you might put it as a male format and a female format, and Rebecca is me when I'm taking on that female image. So I'm a trans girl. I'm not full time, although I don't necessarily disabuse anybody of that on Twitter. And I've got a very responsible professional job, and then I've also got a slightly more fun job as well.
When did you become Rebecca?
Well, that's kind of a can of worms, I think. I've always been like this, and I don't think I'm particularly different when I'm the man me and Rebecca me. I think it's the same person, it just the person looks different. But I'd say from very early in my life, as a child, I think it started out manifesting itself as a tremendous fear of having anything that looks feminine on me. I remember I was going to a fancy dress party as a pirate, and my mum was trying to put me in earrings for that, and the horror at the thought of that, sort of opening that little trapdoor. So it took until I was probably in my late teens, early 20s, when I started to wonder whether actually this great fear was holding me back, and I should probably grab hold of this side of me and do something about it.
So up to that point where you kind of released Rebecca, were you living as a gay man or were you closeted?
Closeted. I wouldn't say I was a gay person now. I think I like other humans. I often use the word humanoid on Twitter, which started as an affectation, as so many of the things I do start out as affectations. But I realised that it's just that's what I'm into. Other people. It doesn't really matter what sex they are. It doesn't matter necessarily what they look like. I think it's just nice to make connections with other people, and that's what I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm. I'm really glad that you agreed to have a chat with me, because, you know, I'm really conscious that how people perceive the way you live, right, has been hugely politicised, and there'll be people listening to this who cringe at everything I ask and possibly everything you answer. Mm-hmm. But I just wanted to stress that at this point I'm interested in talking to you about your experience, Rebecca, and when you're not speaking for anyone else.
Nope, I'm just speaking for me and answering for me. And like you said, it's very politicised at the moment. Makes you feel very sad. And I think the biggest problem with it is that everything needs to be a binary. You're either on one side or you're on another side. And I think that's the same with all kinds of politics at the moment. And I'm not on any side. I can see what's driving people on both sides of this debate about the nature of trans. And you can't really be in the middle, because then everybody, rather than empathises with you, throws things at you.
Because I know on Twitter you've sort of kicked back against people's concerns about the correct way to address you, or the correct way to talk about trans women in general, and things that people have said in the past that now are deemed to be offensive, you don't necessarily have a problem with.
People can call me anything they want to, as long as it comes from a place of respect. If you were calling me something with the intention of hurting me, that's very different. It's not the language you're using, it's the hurt you're intending, that's the problem.
Yeah.
But I don't like the idea of policing language. I don't like the idea of people who are trying really hard to adapt and adjust to a new way of thinking and a new society around them, getting hauled over the coals for making mistakes that they had no idea they were about to make. So I think empathy goes a long way, and there's not enough of it about.
You've got a hell of a lot of patience, though, you must have.
I don't know. I don't tend to get a lot of negativity thrown at me. I think in the last few weeks, part of me's gone looking for it a bit, right, because of frustration with it all. I'm thinking, partly because it feels bad to be sat on the sidelines and not being able to put my point of view across. So I've done some slightly silly things of inveigling myself into conversations where I didn't have to be there, and that's when I've had some negativity at me. It'd be very easy for me to avoid it. I probably should more.
But then you're living a life where you're avoiding conversations that in some ways have to be had. I guess it's about choosing who it's worth having them with, isn't it?
Yeah. think you're right with that. I think, I mean, I've seen the way that you work on Twitter, and you could, if you so wished, really hurl yourself into all kinds of stuff that wouldn't get you very far and wouldn't make your life any more happy or positive, and you're able to not do that. So I think I probably should follow the same path.
And yet still sometimes I find myself in the middle of something I had no idea was happening, you know. And I know Twitter for what it is, and yet it can still be pretty hurtful sometimes, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. There's if you simply open the window onto it, there's an infinity of awfulness in Twitter. But as I tweeted the other day, I'd had a day where I'd been chatting to you on Twitter, chatted to 2 or 3 other friends on there, and Twitter opening up the possibilities to talk to all of these people who you like and you admire. It's a wonderful thing, and people who call it a hell site, I think you're missing something that's like that for you.
You seem to run your stream on your own terms. You seem to own it, and you seem like a super confident woman on there. You know, I've seen some amazing pictures of you, and the conversations you have, the interactions I've seen have been largely positive. You've got like an army of fans, Rebecca. How did that happen?
It happened because I showed pictures of my bum, I think.
That'll do it.
I think there's that. But I try to be me there, so I don't want to just be a blank image that people are responding to. I want a bit of my personality in there, and I think a lot of I try to do that, and it's the same when I'm in the male me. It's the same kind of personality coming out, but there's a little bit of artifice there. I've got a thing about Howard's Way. You will have seen.
I noticed. What is that thing?
That was I liked Howard's Way in the 80s.
How old are you, may I ask?
I'm 43.
Right.
So I'm a year older than you, aren't
Yeah, we're a very similar age.
I quite liked Howard's Way.
Howard's Way was always Sunday night on my gran's.
Yes, same with me. Sunday night ready for school the next day. I thought it's quite there's something kind of bland about Howard's Way and kind of silly about it. Yeah. So it's a funny thing to talk about a bit. I think it's the right cultural thing to fit my personality, and then I can't let go of it now, and it's snowballed into me winning competitions with Howard's Way prizes and
what
being.
Did you win?
I don't know. It's not arrived yet. I'm hoping it arrived today.
Please tell me it's like some sort of sweater, a lemon sweater.
A sweater would be wonderful. I think a sweater would be anything acrylic.
Or a sailor's cap.
Even better.
I know that would put to good use. That would be the cornerstone of a new outfit. Although I bet you have that outfit.
I can show you some outfits later. So yeah, I mean, Howard's Way it's artifice, but it's slightly more than that now, because I feel I have to delve right into it and immerse myself in this kind of silliness.
Do you find a lot of the interactions you have? I know you said that. And you have said in the past to me that, you know, the first sort of things that you were doing on Twitter were very sexualised. Do you find that a lot of the interactions you have now are beyond that, or is it still that at root?
It's an interesting question, because you just made me realise something. I think a lot of women certainly will have experienced people sending them pictures they don't particularly want to see of bits of male anatomy.
Mm-hmm. That's why my DMs are closed.
So mine are open, and I, like loads of people, will have received a ton of them. I haven't had one for ages now. I think my Twitter feed has changed and turned that down a lot, the encouragement for that. So now generally I just get friendly messages. Every now and then I'll advertise when I've got a day of doing this particular job.
Yeah, I was going to say that I've noticed that, and it's done in a very kind of friendly way. It's not kind of, come on lads, let's have it. It's done in a, you know, your persona as Rebecca, and from what you're telling me, your persona generally is quite refined and quite gentle, and there's no need to be shouting about that.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think I've got quite nice pictures, and I've got a lot of followers, so anybody that wants to come and see me knows where I am and knows who I am, I think. And also, it's probably worth noting all the people who have come to see me. I've never yet met anybody who wasn't very nice to me and a nice person to be around.
Yeah.
I've not seen any of the darkness that you might associate with this.
Yeah. I've been trying to educate myself about a lot of things, and sex work is one of them, because I interviewed Caitlin Bailey, who does the Old Pro podcast, and it's just, I found it fascinating. It started off as kind of a historical examination of sex work through the ages, but also because she's done sex work, and the Wendy that she used to work with has also done sex work in her time. It took away from the stereotype that a lot of people have, which is all sex workers are desperate, all sex workers are doing it because they're in an absolutely dire situation and they put themselves at terrible risk and they hate it. Well, I'm sure that is the case in some cases, and Caitlin always talks about how crisis sex work is something quite different. If you're in a situation where you are feeding a drug habit, or you're in some sort of situation where you're having to feed someone else's drug habit, you'll make riskier decisions than you would if you are just living your life and you decide that actually, in her case, she said, I was working my arse off in Starbucks and I thought, there's more to life than this. And she felt more exploited when she was working in a coffee shop. People haven't opened their eyes properly to that yet, have they?
No. I have a little reticence to talk about it because I'm not a genetic woman, and I think there might be slight differences in what I might experience from the people that come to visit me. But all the people I've met who work in this business are very much independent and doing it because they want to do it. I've never met anybody who I've felt, from what I could tell, was being exploited at all, and I'm certainly not being exploited in any way. I'm partly doing this because I'm getting, when you're a trans girl, an awful lot of being a trans girl can be about sex, and you're viewed as a sex object, and I was getting so many requests to meet up with people, and you go to various parties where this was all happening, and it just was the realisation that actually I could make a bit of money out of it, which has proved the case.
Do you think you're a very sexual person anyway?
No, I don't think I am now, because I don't. If it's, I have too much, so I don't think about it very much.
Right.
Maybe less than I used to.
So for you now, it's turned into a way to pay the shopping bills.
Yeah, and meet nice people. And that might sound odd, but like I said, everybody I have met has been nice to me.
It doesn't sound odd. It sounds like a way of staying sane, actually. Yeah.
Yes, I've been to some bizarre. I've seen a lot of bizarre things in the last few years. I called in last time I called you on the show. I was talking about the club in King's Cross with the basement there, and yes, that's about as sleazy a thing as you could imagine, and then maybe turn the dial up a bit further.
And how do you feel when you go somewhere like that?
I like the control of it. I like the fact that I can be aloof, and I like the fact that every man in the room is looking at me, to be honest. I'm going to sound terribly conceited, but if I'm down there, I'll be surrounded very quickly by these chaps, which is quite empowering in some ways.
What kind of guy is it, or woman, I'm not making any judgments, who comes to see you? What kind of people do you see?
Everybody who comes apologises either for being too young or for being too old. So there's something about they're thinking about their age when they do it. Generally, I think it's probably the most common age would be about 50. But I had a very young man come to see me, maybe 19 or 20. It's probably the youngest. But it's all kinds of ages. 95% of the men who've come to see me, they've never been anywhere near a trans girl before, and they're not gay. That's what they all tell me, every single one, and I know that the vast majority of them are not telling the truth, but they have this urge to say, I've never seen a trans girl before.
They're telling themselves that, aren't they?
There's some sort of stigma there that they're trying to push down. I think some felt stigma that they've got.
Do you feel sorry for them?
No, because I know what I'm going to do to them.
Wow. Okay. And does it vary? Do some of them just want to chat, or is it generally they want to get straight down to it?
I think some of them want to chat more than others of them, but all of them want to experience the Garden of Earthly Delights.
Can you remember? I'm sure you can. The first time that you made this into work.
Yes. I was at a hotel out near Epping, and I had a couple of days of booking in sort of 7 or 8 guys over the course of 2 days.
Wow, so you went straight for it?
Yeah, I tend to leap into things.
How long a build-up was it, or did you just decide it that day?
Because I have another job, I need to sort of build space internally. I would do this in my time. So I'd had like a week of planning it and booking a place. And it was a lot less nervous than you might think, simply because having met guys beforehand, without the money aspect of it, it was... there's a difference though with knowing you're letting people down if you can't make something, or if you have to cancel anything. That's a bit different. But I think there's a lot that I must ignore and push away to the back of my head, and live in the now, because I don't get particularly nervous at these kind of things, and that's not necessarily the case in other aspects of my life.
Oh, really? How so?
I don't know whether I'm normally a risk taker, but in this side of things I am very much a risk taker. I'm quite reckless.
How close a call have you had through recklessness?
Not... It depends what the risk was. I mean, this is quite reckless, because this is my voice, and a lot of people will hear this. If they recognise me, they recognise me. So that's quite a reckless thing to do. But the thought of meeting you and having an interview was far too much to ever let the risk get in the way of it. So, yeah, I think I am a risk taker in this aspect of my life and not in others.
When you come to work here, you don't come dressed, I take it?
No.
Have you ever gone out dressed?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Or during the day? The funny thing you were telling me was that earlier on is that you don't do anything other than uber glamorous.
Yes, because I mean I've got a lot of makeup on. It's not sort of drag queeny makeup, but there's a lot there, because if there's anything missing, male me comes through. So I need to properly camouflage myself.
But you're camouflaging for yourself more than anyone else by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I'm very happy going out and going anywhere, walking down the street. It doesn't bother me. Nothing bad has ever happened to me. I've never had a nasty comment in all my life of doing this.
Do you get people staring?
I don't know, because I take my glasses off. So it's all a blur.
There's a smooth
so that
move.
Helps.
Yeah, I remember doing that when I lived in Paris, and it was quite a heady environment there. And I found that the easiest way to be completely... I guess it's the kind of alternative to sticking your headphones on. Taking my glasses off. That's funny, isn't it? We both did that.
There is a point where you want people to be staring. If you think you're looking good.
Yeah.
If they're saying, wow, who's that? That's very different to, wow, who's that?
And you do enjoy clothes, don't you? You enjoy the way you look.
Yeah. That's another thing from Twitter. And having all my followers, I don't tend to buy clothes anymore, because I have so many generous chaps who buy me things.
And that's a far cry from the little kid who didn't want to put pirate earrings in.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a moment that switched that, or did it just happen gradually?
I think gradually. There used to be a place in Euston, a shop there where you could go and they would transform you into a woman for an afternoon. And I went there a couple of times. My early 20s. Before that, it's sort of piecemeal rather than the whole image. And then you realise you can do all this stuff yourself. You don't need to go off and get expert help and guidance for it. This is the thing that I often get asked, and lots of other trans girls get asked as well, is about makeup and how you do it, and which makeover specialist to go and see. And maybe get one makeover, but just watch what they're doing so you can learn how to do it and do it yourself.
YouTube is amazing now. Speaking as, you know, a non-trans woman who's trying to keep in the game, so to speak, and also, you know, having... you know, my mum showed me techniques, but they were techniques that she used in the 70s and 80s, and things move on, don't
That's
they?
what I'm doing now, probably.
Not at all. Not at all. You've done a really good job. I'm very envious of the neatness of your lipstick.
It took a long time.
You're immaculate. You're absolutely immaculate. But I guess that's all part of you, is Rebecca.
Yeah, it needs to be immaculate. Well, as immaculate as I can make it.
And so, which part of you feels most like you're in drag, when you're Rebecca or when you're in your male form?
Well, I think drag, I don't know if this is true or not, but in the trans circles, I know drag is referred to as dressed as girl. That's what it sort of stands for, and drab is dressed as boy. So,
oh, really?
If that's true, that's what we all say.
That's a shame for the boys, isn't it?
It is. But you can understand. It's like the bird. Well, that's the opposite to the bird in the animal world, isn't it? The boys are always flamboyant.
Yeah, exactly.
Neither's different. I don't feel uncomfortable when I'm a man. I don't feel uncomfortable when I'm Rebecca either.
And do you feel any urge to go full time with Rebecca?
It would be lovely, but the amount of effort is gigantic. It really is enormous, the amount of time it would take to do that. And I'm not envious of all the things that people like Clara here, the manageress, have to go through every day to do that. What I am basically living is a hyper-privileged existence, and I'm very well aware of that, where I can get all the privileges of being a boy, and then I can get the privileges of doing this in a sort of safe environment where I'm not tossed on the waves of prejudice and bias by society. I can pick and choose.
So people who know about this place, and you're working on your terms.
Yeah.
So how do you balance it with your day job, which you've mentioned is quite conservative and responsible? How do you flip that switch?
My work know about Rebecca. They know about certain aspects of Rebecca. There's a great lie about stress and tension and seniority, where the further up a chain you go, it's supposed to be more stressful, when actually the further up a chain you go, the more flexibility you have to use your skills as you want to, and to use your time in a different way. So there's flexibility over how I use my time, which is helpful.
Mm-hmm. And you say that they know at work. What they know that you dress at the weekends or at home, or
yeah, some people do. Like
right.
My boss and other bosses know about it.
Yeah. What was that conversation like?
Remarkably straightforward with some bosses. Other ones they have to pick their jaw up off the floor a little bit, particularly when they see a photo. I think that's the moment when they're like, because that's one thing when I tell people is the great anxiety you have is that they are thinking that you're basically David Walliams in Little Britain.
Oh my God!
So I have a terrible...
I don't see any parasols.
No, I have a terrible urge every time to make sure they see a photo of what I do look like, because I want to be the best me that I can be, not a parody of womanhood.
You're doing a good job. You're doing a really good job. Should we have a look around and see some of your bits and bobs?
Yes, let's do it.
Oh my God, I'm drawn immediately to this. What's this?
Yes, this is
this
a PVC nurse's outfit.
Well, I mean, it's very handy for... I'm not sure that's standard issue, is it? But it would be white paint.
I think Sister might take you to one side if you turned up on this and suggest that maybe you want to think about whether this is appropriate for the patients. But yeah, it's all very shiny and wipe clean. And
so what's the deal? But that when you book a client, they'll request a look, or you will offer them?
Very rarely they do. Very rarely they're requesting. Usually they say, do you wear stockings, which is a slightly daft question. Yes, I do. Will you wear heels? Yes. But every now and then they'll ask for leather or PVC or something. I don't have any leather, so that usually disappoints them and they'll go elsewhere, but I have a little bit of PVC.
Go on, let's see what else you've got. It's dressing up.
I've got like a Minnie Mouse kind of dress, which is quite fun to wear, but it feels slightly parody of a woman, but it's
it's
lovely
kind
red.
of 1950s-ish.
Yes, I do have a thing about 50s kind of and 40s wear.
Oh, Hell Bunny, I've got some of their dresses.
They I think a lot of trans girls have, because I think they do sizes that suit us.
Well, also it's feminine, but there's something sassy about it, and it's in 1950s, but it's not kind of 1950s like your gran would have worn. There's a little rock and roll, rockabilly edge to it,
yes,
isn't there?
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of which,
yes, this is my absolute favourite. I because I'm a massive attention seeker, I tweeted last night that I needed to look my best for your visit today, and I put 4 dresses up, and I didn't end up picking this one, but this is my favourite. It is very 1940s, 50s.
Yeah, it's kind of is it black shirt dress?
It is, yes.
With a sort of, the tattoo swallows holding a heart, says forever on it. It's very cool.
Shirt dresses are my favourite thing. I think they suit my figure.
Yeah, they're great. They cinch where it needs cinching.
Yes, so I've got a corset on here.
Your figure is incredible.
Thank you.
I'm starting to, and we're similar age, I'm starting to get the kind of middle-aged spread going on.
I am remarkably lucky. I mean, there's like this cliche that trans girls are given away by their hands, having big hands, but I've got quite feminine hands.
You have.
So I'm quite lucky.
You have. Oh, what's this? This is a kind of uniform.
It's like a military dress. It's sort of, when it's advertised, they put pictures of people on stage singing in it. So it's like a costume, basically.
Oh, like Leandri sisters.
Yes, that kind of thing. But it's great fun. I just need to find an occasion to wear it. I've got a good friend on Twitter who is a photographer as well as an escort, and she's going to take some pictures of me. I think I'm going to go to the Imperial War Museum wearing this, and I'm going to lay myself seductively over tanks and cannons and sandbags, and she's going to take photos.
Yeah, there's that risk taker edge to you again.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're going to do it, you might as well do it. So you don't feel any kind of... You don't feel threatened that, if you come across the wrong person, particularly doing something like that, that, the thing is, you're really tall. I wouldn't mess with you. You don't feel threatened or is there a bit of a thrill in the danger?
I don't think there's a thrill in the danger of being abused or having any physical problem. There's a bit of a thrill, like I said, in having everybody look at you when you're walking through the shopping mall here in Harlow. But I don't want to be in any difficult situations, and like I said, I haven't been in any. I haven't had anybody say anything nasty to me or come to me with any kind of negative intentions.
Do you know any of the other girls had that?
Yes, I think within the trans community it happens quite a bit. I think potentially I've been very lucky. Potentially there's something about confidence that helps. If you have confidence as you're walking down the street, I think you're much less likely to receive attention than if you're creeping around trying to avoid it. I think that might not always be the best tactic for that.
I get it, that kind of street smarts idea that, if you've got your head held high rather than you look like furtive, then you're not going to attract that kind of attention. Even so, I think going out dressed, holding your head high, that must take an awful lot the first few times.
Yeah, and I do jump into things. The first time I did it was in King's Cross at lunchtime, walking through there with a friend. So it took a little bit of time to get out of the room, if you know what I mean, to open that door and go out into the public, but not as much as you might think.
How did it feel when you were out?
Frightening that first time. I got bibbed by a van, which at the time felt slightly unnerving, and then afterwards was the best part of the day in retrospect.
And then when you got back into somewhere that felt safer, what were we talking? A buzz?
Yeah, a little bit of a buzz, and then and then a complete happiness about walking back again afterwards, because you knew the work ground wasn't going to open up and swallow you.
It must be incredibly freeing.
It is, because you realise nobody cares. Everyone's got bigger things to worry about than what you look like walking past them on the street.
I think in London...
That's a good point, yes.
Perhaps so.
And I don't really want to put Harlow down, but Harlow is, I think, crime and deprivation are more than you might find in some places that you go to. But again, walking around Harlow, again, I've never had any problems here at all.
So when people come here, should we go and sit down again? What's this?
I can't even tell you what that... I don't know what it is. There's so much oddness.
I want to say it looks like a spray tan tent, but I see that there's a sort of seat in here.
It's... You could call it a canopied love seat.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's a very accurate description.
It's whatever you need it to be at the time.
This, I think, is for somebody shorter than me. And I think you would...
Put your neck in there.
Yeah. More of the restraints.
There's restraints on the floor.
Oh, there is a dungeon here.
Oh, my God.
Notice that, by the way.
Yeah, what's this? A crying angel?
Again, I can't tell you. It's like a bizarre grey angel, tearful angel on the wall.
But they're respectfully covering their eyes, so...
They are. Yeah.
The aesthetic is interesting, I'm going to say it.
It's postmodern. There are many influences. Let's turn the light on.
Oh my, what's this place?
This is very strange. So there's all kinds of ropes and whips and things. There's this kind of stuff on the wall. I don't know what this is. This is some kind of...
horror theme.
Yes.
So you've got, what we're going to call it, like a mural poster. And it's like a graveyard scene with signposts going to the creepy house or Zombie Avenue.
I think my fantasies involve comfy, luxurious stuff rather than graveyards, but I think some people go for that.
And there's a door with a kind of coffin shape on it.
Yes, again, I come here a lot. I come here at least once a week, and every time I come here there's something new. And that's certainly new.
Well,
this coffin thing.
I guess it's a playroom, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
And the games are dark.
They are.
Can we have a peep in this one?
There's not a lot in here.
Now this is kind of more what you would imagine standard, sex worker, basic.
Yes. So
should you call it an office?
Yes, a workspace.
You've got the sink, you've got a bed, you've got a sofa.
Yeah. And this used to be where I would get made up, and then they turned it into a dark room, so it's quite tricky to do your makeup in the dark.
Yeah, they've not thought this through, have they?
No. So it's a curious spot.
Which is the place you prefer?
I tend to work out of where we were sitting with the sofas and things, but then with the bed there, that's quite helpful as well. And this is slightly frightening.
This old chap.
That must be nearly 2 feet long.
But the good thing about it is that you can share it.
You can. It's not anatomically correct.
Oh, I shouldn't think so. I don't think that could survive in the wild. So how do you vet people before they come in? Because, obviously, I know that you feel confident in what you're doing. You're looked after by this place. But you never know who really anyone is, especially, if you're doing it through social media. How do you give yourself the best chance of not being with a moron?
There's always a risk, but generally morons will demonstrate that they are morons in their communication beforehand.
Are there things that give them away?
There are an awful lot of people who simply want to talk to you and get their thrills that way. So you have a lot of time wasters. And they will ask you lots and lots of questions that it's very easy to find the answer to. They'll send you multiple messages. So there's like a format where you can expect someone's going to be a good one, where they'll set out very clearly what they'd like to do and when it might be possibility to do it, and you can just tell that they're a reasonable human being, or you hope you can tell.
Have you ever had any strange ones where, the client has got, upset or anything like that?
Not really. I'd like to have a whole barrage of stories for you, but it's just always been pretty pleasant kind of time I've had with these people. I've got a lot of my best memories are from going to out calls where you go visit them. There's a lovely guy I go and see quite a lot. It's really nice going to see him. But there's a guy who will book 2 of us at once, and he dressed us up as air hostesses once. That was immense fun. He was in a beautiful place in Bond Street, wandering around in a I think it was an old Monarch air hostess uniform. It was kind of yellow. It wasn't necessarily my colour, but it was tremendous fun.
It was authentic, at least.
Yes, it was a real, definite, authentic
so you'd say that was one of your favourite clients?
Yeah, they've got 2 or 3 regulars who are all great.
And do any of them try to do that old thing of saying, I'm going to save you and take you away from all this?
They haven't done. They know that would be daft. I've had some people say you just need to find a boyfriend. No, I don't. No, I really don't.
Again, do you think that's more them trying to tell themselves that?
Yeah, I think they remember Pretty Woman from the late 80s, and they think this is A, it'll make them feel better, B, they really do think that they could make my life better, and they don't really realise that I'm at the peak of privilege as it is already.
Are you in a relationship outside?
No.
Would you like to be?
I don't know if I would. I think part of this Rebecca side of me, there's a lot of selfishness in it. There's a lot of independence, me to do what I want. And I mean, I love people. I love other individuals. But it's a difficult thing to know whether to share it or not, share my life or not.
I guess, that's a risk if you don't need to take it, why would you? You seem to have got things the way you want them.
Yeah, although always there's this little nagging doubt at the back of your mind whether I'm ignoring or hiding something, whether this really is what I want. Because I'm constantly picking at things to decide whether is this real or not, is there a paranoia to it, I don't know.
If you're asking the question, then the chances are you're saying it's the people that think they've got it sorted and won't allow that into their consciousness, if you know what I mean. They won't allow themselves to wonder whether this is the right thing for them. In any walk of life. I think your head's pretty screwed on from what I see.
I hope so. I mean, one of the kind of cliches, or not cliches, stereotype about sex workers is they're doing it to fund a drug habit or for drink or whatever.
Yeah, or they're abused or something, they're needy.
I have none of that in my past or in my present. So it gives you a clarity of thinking, I suppose. You haven't got any substances that are affecting your thinking, so...
Yeah. And I guess if you're not doing it to manage a crisis, then you're likely to make more sensible decisions. Where do you see yourself? This is one of these questions, interview questions, that I'm sure you've asked in your responsible daytime job. Where do you see yourself in 2-3 years?
I think to some extent this side of life has a shelf life, but I think it's probably beyond 2 or 3 years yet. It would be nice to be able to maintain what I'm doing now. I think there's risks that it could all come collapsing down, and there is that little bit of shadow in the future that part of me is thinking this is going to end in some kind of bad place.
Well, because this is too perfectly balanced for you now, it's too good now.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot that I'm hiding, that if it comes out, then it's only going to end up with bad things happening. So there's that kind of shadow that could be there. But I'm very prone to what economists call discounting, where you prize today much more than you prize tomorrow. I'm very, very prone to that. It's a big weakness of mine.
A weakness, or it could be a strength. If the brown stuff's going to hit the fan, it's going to hit the fan anyway. You worrying about it for 3 years before it happens just means you suffer twice, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's no need to worry about something that you've got not as much control as you think you have over.
Thanks so much for talking to me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Tales of mystery and imagination on the radio show that does things differently.
Dolly Parton, I listen to a record all day long.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
I'm a nut job, but not that kind of nut job.
On Talk Radio.
Honest to God, it's the new Breaking Bad.
Oh, no.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Catherine Boyle. That was good. I enjoyed that. You hated it because it's always cringe listening to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like Rebecca and I worked on that together, and I gave her first listen, and she knew that she had the option to take things out if she wanted to, and she's happy with it, and that's the most important thing.
I enjoyed that a lot. Thank you for doing it. I know you've got some more planned. Lots of people on Twitter enjoyed it. Some people didn't enjoy it on Twitter. Some people were disappointed with the continued fetishisation of trans women and stuff. I get that. I don't... see, when people refer to us as the media, I always... I always feel that we are slightly outside of that. But, of course, we're not. We're on a radio station that's owned by... who's it owned by? Murdoch?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say the other government. And I get that. And your criticism is taken on board. And thank you to everyone who said nice things about it as well. It's all cool, man. You're not going to like everything we do.
We kind of were at pains to say that we were talking about Rebecca. We weren't talking about trans women or anyone else's general experience.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. And Rebecca sounds delightful.
Cheers.
And I know she's been tweeting us a lot, and was a lot of people saying she was a big supporter of me in the jungle. So that was cool. If you want to call in about that, we're going to go to the news in a minute. But you're very welcome to give us a call about that. 0344 499 1000. It's Amy taking the calls tonight. You can phone up and say you loved it. Phone up and say you hated it. Phone up and say whatever. I don't mind. She will take your name and number and give you a call straight back. We've got other stuff to talk about. We'll talk about our trials and tribulations with this bloody transcript book. should have been done by now, but I'm just struggling with a little bit with this gentleman I've paid to format it, but we'll get there. Nostril hair. There's loads of stuff to talk about, really. We haven't even touched any of the stories that we were going to do, so maybe we'll do those in the next hour. Do phone up, though, because the only call we've got lined up so far is Andre. Isn't that right, Andre?
Hello?
There we go, you see. So I suggest if you don't want Andre to be the first call when we come back after midnight, 0344 499 1000. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. This is the Late Night Alternative, weeknights from 10 with Iain Lee and Catherine Boyle, only on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Tell me that love is blind. I really need a girl like an open
To be a partner on Twitch. I just got notification. I made all of the numbers, guys. Made the numbers.
In the air, in the air, in the air. Loving it and love it all. Living it up when I'm going down.
Joining in the harmonies there. That was good there. 0344 499 1000. Late night alternative. We're live. It's 7 minutes past 12 on a bank holiday Monday. Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk it? 0344 499 1000. Andre?
Yeah.
You were going to be the first caller tonight, but someone else called in.
Why?
Why?
Good question.
Why? Ollie, why?
Things kind of got a bit weird Friday, so I just wanted to make sure everything's okay.
Were you tripping on LSD? Because I was.
I am on medication that makes me a bit emotional.
Hey, no, listen, man, we're cool. We felt bad that we thought we were having classic bants, and then we saw online that actually you were upset by what we said, so we were upset. But also, when I say we were upset because I kind of consider you as a friend. I know we don't know each other particularly well, but we play games online, so I was upset in that I was concerned for you. I'm not saying that in any way so that you then feel bad about us. That's not because you've got no reason to feel bad about us. Me and Kath are cool, and we're just glad to know that you're cool. And I hope you picked up. I don't know if you heard what we said on air or if you turned the radio off like you're having a little hissy fit. I don't know. I'm joking. It's a joke. But if you didn't hear what we said on air, then I'm sure you will have seen what a lot of people were saying on Twitter, that there's a lot of love for you, man, and everything's cool. Everything's cool as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I don't know, really. It's like I was watching Captain Marvel that day. And,
great film.
It is a great film. I felt a bit tearful at the end for no reason.
Yeah, I know. It's a powerful film. I loved Captain Marvel. One of my favourites in the whole Marvel. Can I ask, no spoilers, have you seen Endgame?
No, I'm going to see it Wednesday.
Okay. Because I'm reminded. Literally, another thing's popped into my head that I was actually not just disappointed about. I was angry about. And I want to talk to you about it, man, because I thought it was only okay with a lot of flaws in it, whereas Infinity War I thought was absolutely brilliant with very few flaws in it.
Well, past Wednesday for sure. Sure. I saw another film. That because of I've had it for ages. I didn't get it because of you, but I got Time Crimes and I watched that on the weekend.
Oh yeah, go on.
With the Hectors, I thought it was cool. I thought it was really good.
Oh.
It was really.
You say that in the way that means you didn't think it was cool.
It was a bit predictable, but it was cool.
Predictable.
If I don't know if I can do spoilers.
You can spoil a 20-year-old film, yeah.
Is it 20 years old? Wow.
Probably.
Every time it's a time thing, it's always the person.
Yeah,
it's always that person that it involves. It's always.
As soon as I saw the mask, I was like, all right, that's him.
Yeah.
So that's that guy. Okay, right. How does he get there? And I'm still not quite sure why he puts the mask on, but okay, right, fine.
It's so that they can film him.
Yes.
And not have to put some fancy effect on.
There we go.
They can get someone else to stand in.
Here's a strange text that's just come in from Liam. I don't know if this is for me, Katherine, or for you.
Okay.
Struggling here, man. gay man, mid-30s, single, and really want a child. Then here's the bit at the end. Sorry to pester. No one's pestered me to father a child with another gay man.
Oh, is that? I thought they wanted one of our children.
You could have the one that wasted up for 3 hours in the hospital today. Struggling here, man. Gay man, mid-30s, single and really want a child. Sorry to pester. We're not making light of it, Liam. I don't know what this is in reference to. I don't know if this is directed at us. It's the sorry to pester is the thing. This isn't. This is the first request so far. Is it now? What do you need? Do you need my seed? Do you need Catherine's womb? Is it something Ollie can help with? I don't know. We need a bit more detail here, Liam, if you don't mind. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Well, maybe Time Crime doesn't stand the test of time, then.
No, it was good. It's worth a watch, for sure, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
The other... I don't know. What calling in has been like me testing myself.
Yeah.
Because I've got anxiety issues.
Yeah.
And
anxiety tissues, did you say?
Issues. Come on, man.
I thought you said tissues. I just had to clarify. I didn't know what an anxiety tissue was. I can imagine. But, okay, anxiety issues. Okay.
And I thought I was mentally well. And I think Friday made me question that, really. That maybe... Because I didn't know what the worst that could happen was by ringing.
Yeah.
And... I had a panic attack, and I didn't. I've never had. I don't know. It's been the last panic attack I had was doing a blood test at home.
Yeah. What?
And I freaked. Can
you do them at home? Are you legally allowed to do a blood test at home?
What, on yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a little prick tick. Prick.
Oh, come on now, please. Come on, mate. Don't be so hard on yourself. I'm sure it was a lovely prick tick.
And a tiny amount of blood drops out that you put in a little cylinder.
Yeah.
And in my mind, it was like I was losing a gallon of blood.
Yeah.
And I couldn't breathe. And similar thing happened on Friday when I was reading tweets, and I knew it was a joke.
Yeah.
Because
for those who don't know, a few other people, we were pretending that you were being transphobic or I can't homophobic, whatever it was, I can't remember, everything phobic, and it was a joke. But then some friendly people on Twitter joined in on the joke, and what in your head you read it as you read it as real.
Everything, because I knew it was all a joke, but then people confirming that it wasn't a joke, but jokingly, my head couldn't deal with that, so it just added, and then suddenly it was real. And suddenly I thought, okay, mate, people do think I'm a massive bigot, and something just switched, and I couldn't turn it back off, and I couldn't breathe, and it was weird, and that panicked me more. And I couldn't get out of it.
How are you? Right, here's the most important question: how are you feeling now? I know we spoke over the weekend, but how are you feeling now?
A lot better. It took me a couple of days because I just felt on edge.
Yeah.
But a lot better.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad about that. Now, the next question is, how do we proceed? Because here's the thing. We said on Friday, we don't want anyone to feel worse when they put the phone down. So, there's a few things we can do here. One, we can ban you. I don't know how that would... I don't know if that would trigger... If you'd have to buy more anxiety tissues, I don't know. We could ban you. An idea I came up with is that we could have a safe word.
Safe word.
Yeah.
And so if we're having, fun, let's just say, and we'll be a little bit more careful with our fun, but if we're having fun, you could say...
Anaconda.
What?
Anaconda.
No, you can't have a safe word that's too many syllables because it could be too late. The fatal blow could have been dealt. Anaconda. Okay. That's 5 syllables.
I was just thinking it needs to be something that wouldn't come up in ordinary conversation.
Yeah. Well, I think anaconda would.
It would do.
I would on this show.
Ollie is a big fan of the movie and the snake.
Oh, it's a terrible film.
So it's not. It's a great film.
No,
it's a great film.
Terrible movie.
Not in front of the children. So what safe word? If you think that's the route to go, Ollie, what safe word would work for you?
I think because Twitter put me in the mess, I think they can solve it and maybe they can come up with it.
You want to do what is this, local radio? He wants us to do it.
You know what those guys are like, though. They say, they're terrible people.
We don't go... the phrase will be, I hate gays. Right, hang on a minute. We're going to solve this. We have a very, very wise man.
Andre.
Yeah, okay, right, you saw through that. Andre?
Yeah, what would you like to know?
We need a safe word for Ollie.
A safe word, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm
going to regret
honesty.
Sorry?
Honesty. Honest.
That's how you spell it, is it? Okay.
Because we're not going to use that in everyday conversation.
Right.
I know one.
All right, then. Safe haven.
What?
Safe haven.
Safe haven.
Do you know
Haven?
Right. We don't have to spell them. It's not a spelling bee. Do you know what?
You can't hear me, can you?
Do you know what a safe word means?
Yeah, safe.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Jeez.
Oh, chill out then. Chill out. Chill out room.
Chill out room. Ah! He's gone from safe room to chill out room.
I think he's just trying to find words that sound safe.
While I'm on, Kath.
Yeah. Oh God.
Go on.
Kath.
What?
Did you interview me?
No, why?
Oh, that's not.
I think I can give you a good interview here. Or not here.
Why does that sound threatening and weird?
Well, 'cause it'd be good. It'd be fun, yeah? Over coffee.
Over an Irish coffee.
A big Irish coffee. No, just a normal coffee or something, Kath.
There could be something in that. There could be something.
Call me a normal outside of office hours. And we'll arrange something, Kath, yeah? If you want to. You haven't got to, but if you want to.
That's very kind of you to give her the option.
Kath,
To meet on what? Go to your house.
I've met Andre.
No, you can't come here.
Would you be alone with him?
I would be alone with Andre. I would trust Andre.
I know you.
Well,
I know you would, Ian.
You don't know me.
Kath, we could meet in a
pub.
Halfway,
He was going to
yeah?
say. He was going to say pub.
No, I don't drink, do I?
Let me think about it.
All right, sleep on it, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think she'll be doing that, Andre. She'll just be coming to interview you. Right. Hang on a minute, Ollie. Adam, have you got a safe word we could use for Ollie? Hello, Adam?
Oh, sorry.
Is that your name?
I didn't hear my name.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
All right. Have you got a safe word for Ollie?
A safe word for Ollie, a fellow anxiety sufferer.
So if it gets a little bit, if you know he's not enjoying the phone call, he can just lay this word out, and me and Kath instantly stop, and we will respect that. We will respect that.
Well, my go-to replacement swear word is muffin, and I think that might work.
Muffin.
Muffin. Yeah, it just sounds.
Muffin.
Right
Muffin
to
or
me.
mutton?
Muffin.
Muffin. Definitely muffin.
Are you saying
blueberry, chocolate?
Chocolate mutton.
Mutton, yeah.
Muffin. Ollie, I think muffin could muffin. I think. Right, Ollie, I'm going to bully you now.
Oh, yeah, oh, God.
No. And I know you've just had a panic attack this weekend. Trust me, I've met a psychologist.
Me too, Ollie.
Right, I'm going to bully you. As soon as it gets too much, know that this bullying comes from a place of love, all right? As soon as it gets too much, drop muffin, okay?
Drop muffin?
Drop a muffin.
That's what he's trying to avoid doing.
Drop muffin, right. Are we, now, this is just a fantasy scene, okay?
Yeah.
Right. Are you ready, Ollie?
I'm ready.
I'm going to bully you in 3, 2, 1. Ollie, you're a shit.
Oh.
Nobody wants to play Apex Legends with you.
That's getting close.
Because you are a lousy cheat. You're a terrible team player.
Yeah, that's true now.
You run off on your own and steal everything from all of the loot boxes.
I need double barrel.
And you are a racist. And I know this.
Oh, yeah.
I know that.
Muffin.
There we go. All right, well done. And scene. Okay, right now that worked. That worked for me. Katherine, how did you feel?
I don't think how I feel is important in this. I think it's all about how Ollie feels, right?
Okay, Ollie.
You could talk about muffins, though. I wouldn't mind muffins.
It does take muffins off the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no,
I
all
want
right.
to talk about muttons.
Here's the thing, muttons. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? We're going to employ this, and Ollie, we're going to name this as the Ollie Breaker. Okay. So the safe word muffin applies to everybody. Every caller who feels
muffin talk.
We just. Well, I'm going to say it now.
Muffin talk's banned.
I'm just going to say it. We will not talk about actual muffins that you can eat or muffins the mule. We're not going to talk
Sorry,
about those.
everyone.
They're banned, and I know it's supposed to be free speech, and we're banning those subjects.
And also, we won't be talking about anything you can put your muff in.
There we go. And we won't be talking about Martha and the Muffins from the band from the 80s. I'm clever. So all muffin talk is banned. Muffin can only be used now as a safe word if anybody is not enjoying the classic gentle bants spilling forth from the minds and the mouths of Iain Lee and Katherine Boyle, the saviours of late night radio. And we're calling it the Ollie manoeuvre. You're performing an Ollie, which is actually a skating manoeuvre, a skateboarding manoeuvre. I'm cool. So the Ollie manoeuvre is when you drop a muffin in the conversation and we stop.
Would you mind if I dropped a muffin?
Oh, God, what do you mean? Well, are you gonna...
Well, maybe sometimes I want to bail.
We are excluded from the Ollie manoeuvre.
Oh.
The hosts are not part of the OM.
Okay.
You can't perform an Ollie. You can't drop a muffin. Ollie, how do you... Now, is that going to make... And a serious question now. Is that going to make you more anxious having a manoeuvre named after you and also knowing that we can't talk about any other form of muffin because of your selfishness?
I think that's fine. I think that's good.
Good.
I think
Adam's loving it! Adam's loving the fact that you're mentally ill! This is brilliant! Adam is having the time of his life!
As well. I love the repetition of muffins.
You did this.
Ollie, stay there because let's hear what Adam has got to add to the conversation. Good evening, Adam.
It's nothing about muffins, sir.
Good, well, you can't say it. Well, now we have to stop. No. Now we have to. Oh, sorry. Now we have to stop and see if you're all right. Are you okay? Do you wish to proceed?
No.
So you hang on. I'm confused. Have you just pulled an Ollie?
No, I haven't.
That was an accidental OM.
Okay, well you can't say the M word then.
I'm sorry.
The M word.
The M word.
He said the M word.
The M word.
You can't say the N word either.
Well, you can't.
Found another issue with this.
We could use the N word as this. We could use the M word as a safe word.
No.
Then we'd know because we never talk about that.
Oh no.
You dropped. Oh yes.
Who's crying?
Imagine Ollie having your name associated so closely with the N word, and it's called doing an Ollie.
Muffin.
Oh my God, Mum! You've just done an Ollie.
He just did it. Move on.
Nan, you've just done an Ollie. You can't say that anymore. Right, Adam. So what have you called in about?
What have I called in about? I am quite a depressed person.
Is this going to be embarrassing for Ollie? Should I let him go?
I don't know.
I don't mind. I can go.
His mythology quite to the fullest extent.
Ollie, I'm going to let you go.
Cool.
Because Adam, if I'm honest, Adam sounds like he's going to be hard work. And well, it's nice to speak to you, Ollie. And we'll speak to you later on. Bye-bye. Right, Adam.
Hello.
Hi.
Don't know why you're making me laugh so much. It's going to be a tough call. Go on.
Okay, great. So, essentially, I'm 21.
Yeah.
I've been working my first full, real job for about 2 years now. I'm autistic, so I went through school, had a massive problem making friends throughout that time. This job is, relevant to my autistic fixation, my point of passion, which is cars. And the entire office just despises me. And I'm at this point where, I don't know, I feel a bit hopeless. I've been depressed for a very long time, and you go into somewhere and you think, okay, these are people I can talk to about the one thing I understand.
Yeah.
And then that proves not to be the case.
How do you know they hate you?
I don't know how much I can divulge on the radio.
Oh, no, don't divulge anything that'll get you in trouble or identify anything you don't want to. Have they actually... This isn't a supposition. They've told you they hate you.
They've actively excluded me.
Okay.
And they've told... Well, I've been kind of gently informed to stop trying to get involved with them.
Oh, God, they sound like a right bunch of a-holes. Scumbags.
And also, what great management technique.
Yeah. So what, when you say...
lovely, it's just their employees.
So when you say try and get involved, what you mean like hanging out at lunch or... At lunch? No one gets a lunch break anymore. It's 2019. You mean like you trying to be friendly with them and trying to maybe get in on their scene and you've been warned that you don't
wanna
they'll
do
go
that.
out on little. So it's basically the entire department sans me, goes off on social excursions and stuff, and I just feel a bit alone.
Okay, well, do you have any friends outside of work?
I don't have time for friends outside of work.
Of course not. Yeah.
And you know, again, a lot of my school life was spent not really having a social identity as such. So I just go through a fairly consistent loneliness. I should probably point out as well that I actually live with one of the guys who's in this little group. He's fine, but he's not enough of an in for me to be part of the group, apparently. So I just feel very...
Is there... Well, you've been there for 2 years. You've been there for 2 years. And here's the thing. Sometimes some people just don't gel. That happens.
Indeed.
That does happen. This is a tough one, man. And I'm really lucky. I work silly hours, so I don't have to meet anybody here because I'm terrible. I'm terrible, Adam, in workplaces. I've worked in real workplaces and offices and things, and I can't do. I don't know how you fit in that environment and how you make friends with. I don't know how to. So I have no advice on that, and I would suspect that if you're getting that message, that then perhaps it is too late. I don't know, Katherine, would you agree to win them over? But also,
who'd want to win them over after that?
That's the thing, yeah.
It sounds like you'd have to go along with that kind of mentality if you were inside the group. I bet inside the group it's not all rosy either if they're going to be like that.
Who knows? Maybe I don't want to.
Yeah. That would be my suspicion. That'd be my suspicion. If you had to change yourself somehow to conform, to be acceptable to them, then you're going to be miserable within that group anyway. But I know that's not helpful.
I'm counting on myself being the only insomniac in that office with this call. But,
trust me, we don't get many listeners. They won't be listening to this rubbish.
Also, we don't broadcast to bell cheeses.
Well, my biggest issue at the moment, aside from that, is that the person in the office who's my direct line manager, who's been, I'd say if they haven't saved at the very least, they've saved my career, possibly saved my life a couple of times.
Right.
Took me to hospital at my lowest ebb and stuff like that. And they're leaving soon. And I just don't know what happens to me then, personally, professionally, anything else. You know, when you feel like someone's the only reason that you're still employed and perhaps the only reason you're still alive, it's like, well, what happens now?
Well, you have to start taking a little bit of responsibility for your own life, is what I'm saying. And that might sound harsh, but... and this, I'm speaking specifically about the reason you're still alive. Yes, that person may have saved your life. That's incredible. And that is remarkable and, but... you now have to look at ways that you don't get into that position again where you are dependent on someone else to save your life. What I'm saying is you have to save your own life. It sounds. I don't mean that to sound harsh, but I guess it quite possibly does.
Can I say something as well? Although they've stepped in at a time when you were in crisis, you're the one continually saving yourself now. Because if you wanted to kill yourself, you would have done it.
I tried. I'm just not very good at tying nooses.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Don't you well, okay, I was going to say something I won't say, but...
I'm dyspraxic, so that's quite literally incapable. So I couldn't tie my shoelaces until I was 15. You throw a ball at me, it'll probably hit my face.
Well, there you go. Well, there's some good coming out of this dyspraxia. Look, man, look, we're having a laugh and stuff, but I'm aware that this is a heavy thing for you. I don't want you to die. Certainly don't want you to die. Certainly don't want you to die in a horrific way like that. It's a horrible way to go, man. It's a lousy way to go. And I don't know what to suggest. Which is unusual for me because normally I can think of things until the cows come home. I don't know if you've spoken to a doctor. I don't know if you have spoken to your managers. I don't know if you could, and I'm not suggesting you should, but I don't know if you could look for a job elsewhere. There's no reason you should have to do that. No one should feel forced out of their job. But if it is making you that unhappy, then perhaps you should look for something else. These are all just things I'm throwing out there because I don't really have any specific advice to give you. But I don't want you to die.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I understand your predicament.
It's not, it's not my predicament, it's your predicament. But I can't quite get my head... I can't quite get my head around it and
yeah,
help you, man.
Yeah, it's difficult because my job's quite specialist in a sense.
So there are limited places you could go and work.
There are limited places. I also feel that there are limited places that will have me as well.
Well, that's a different thing because of your autism.
Yeah, I mean, so this is when I say I'm not sure how much longer I'd be there once my current line manager is gone. That's quite literal.
Yeah,
because there have been times where with all the will in the world, I've just been really bad, and that's in terms of I struggle with sleep, I struggle with communication and understanding tasks if they're just thrown at me on short notice.
Yeah.
And it just,
Well, is there any... Well, are your employers... Employees, I always get it confused. Are your employers aware of that, of what you've just told me? That you struggle with tasks that are given to you at short notice and that you perhaps need, I don't know, perhaps you need someone to go through it 3 times instead of once.
Terrible at saying no as well.
You're terrible at saying, okay... You need to speak to your boss, man. You need everything you've said to me, you need to say to them. And say, look, I feel like I'm struggling a bit and I'm not giving you as much as I can and as much as you deserve. These are the things that would make it a little bit better for me. Forget the friendship thing for a bit. Let's try and hang on to the job.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. I don't think I'm... yeah. I have told the various important people in the office...
Yeah.
Exactly what I've told you and beyond, but it feels a bit like banging my head against a wall.
I bet it does, but quite often things in companies, and I'm speaking from experience, move a lot slower than we would like them to. I'm one of those people that when I have an idea, I want it fully executed within 10 minutes and I want it done. And if it's not done within the hour, I'm bored and I'm on to the next idea. And I found that a lot, particularly at the BBC. It doesn't work like that. BBC, it took 18, it took like a year, 18 months to get a podcast of the show. And I remember just thinking, this is such an obvious idea, just do it. And it built resentment in me, but that was just the way that machine worked. It ground very slowly. And maybe there's a similar thing going on with you, or maybe your bosses just don't listen and don't give a stuff.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, we're both in quite similar fields of the industry, actually. So, yeah, I think a lot of that exists in my office as well. Be it ideas, be it even features and stuff. Oops, I write things. Yeah, it's quite demoralising, isn't it, when stuff that you're truly passionate about goes quite quick, or gets thrown off the agenda quite quickly.
Yeah. Adam, don't kill yourself. I thought the only solid suggestion I've got is an instruction. Don't kill yourself, please.
Yeah.
Hang in there.
I try my best.
All right, man. Listen, give us a call later in the week, please, and let us know you're still around.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to be awake at this kind of time, but yeah, I probably will be around to call you later.
Adam, listen, hang in there, man. Thank you very much indeed. 0344 499 1000. I'm confused by this tweet from Steffi. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I'm not. The terminology, Steffi says, please tell Iain Lee the correct term for folk like Bex and myself is trans woman with a space
okay, because I've read 4 different ones. I've read 4 different ones where it's the correct term is trans woman, and then there is no such thing as trans woman, and the second time it's in inverted commas. So this is
she's talking about space woman and trans.
I've got it now, but this is the 5th time I've read it, so I'm slightly confused. Okay, well I'm sorry I don't speak.
I'm not, because that's how Rebecca refers to herself, and it is a loaded difference.
Trans woman.
And if you listen to the extended podcast tomorrow, you'll understand what she's trying to say.
Okie dokie.
But it is. I mean, we touched on it in the shorter version. That was a shorter version of a.
No, but she's calling me out for being wrong.
Yeah, but that's only because you're using the same terminology as Rebecca is, because we're honouring the way Rebecca refers to herself.
But also I run words together as well. I'm sorry if you're offended, Steffi. I'm genuinely sorry. But first of all, I was confused because your first 4 tweets have got inverted commas. But obviously you didn't mean that. That's cool. I get it. We'll tweet stuff that doesn't quite make sense. But I'm
trans woman. I mean, I'm not going to slow down my speech, I'm afraid. Sorry if you're offended by that, but I'm not going to.
It's just really political.
Okay.
It's just really political.
Well, there's a surprise.
And that's kind of what Rebecca alluded to in the short version, and we talk about in more depth in the long version.
I look forward to listening to the long version. That's going to go out as a podcast.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Beautiful. All right. Thank you, Steffi. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The wild man of late night radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Did I give out the number right? I think I gave out the number correctly. Let's go to Raheem. Good evening, Raheem.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Raheem.
So earlier I was in the mosque and I received a message from someone who was listening to you.
Say that again.
Apparently,
Say that again. A bit muffled. Go on. You're in the mosque and doing what?
Yeah, and I received a message from someone who's a regular listener, a friend of mine, yeah?
Uh-oh.
She's called you up, yeah?
Yeah.
Apparently you've declared me the King of England. Is that right?
That's correct, yes. And? What's your point? I don't see what your problem is.
Amazing.
Yeah. No, it's happened. It's happened. It's happening. I'm launching a legal campaign to get my true rights reinstated.
Okay, in that case, can I get rid of this government and make you the minister then?
No.
How's that?
No, because I'm the King of England. Well, I'm not getting involved in politics. I'm the king. I want to go around riding a horse and chopping people's heads off. Chop your head off in a minute, son.
You're actually
Catherine.
You're actually not allowed to get involved in politics.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to. Well, in that case, I'm going to.
There was a civil war about that.
Yeah, well, in that case, I'll start a new civil war.
Wow, okay.
Raheem's the head of my army. Raheem?
Yeah?
Head of my army?
Yeah, perfect.
There we go, fine. All right, we'll chop your head off first, Catherine.
You and whose army?
Raheem.
Yeah.
Raheem's army. Can you get some mates and horses and stuff and stores and stuff, Raheem?
Yeah, I suppose I can.
You're going to need a
get some
tank.
people involved, yeah.
Not going to need a tank. It's King's Army. Horses.
Okay.
Old school.
Nah,
Classic.
I just need horses, camels, that's it.
Camels? What are you talking about? English King, mate. English King don't have camels. English King have horses.
Okay, use horses then. That's fine.
All right, fine. I mean, if you got a camel, that'll be wicked.
Sounds like you've got some handy. You might as well have them.
Well, all right, if you got camels, we'll have the camels as well, okay?
Yeah, I'm sure I could go, go and bring some over.
Yeah, all right, fine. All right. But don't ship camels over just for this. It sounds very convoluted way of... We just go and chop some heads off of some horse owners, stablers.
Yeah, perfect.
Stablers. I want to say stablers. And we'll steal their horses.
Mm.
We're not eating them.
No.
You did a tasty voice. We're not eating them. I'm suspicious of Raheem now. I don't think I can trust you. I'm going to chop your head off, Raheem.
Oh, good luck with that.
No, fine.
Oh.
It's on. Let's go to Paul. Good evening, Paul.
Hello?
Hello, Paul.
Hello?
Hello, Paul.
Yes?
Yes, is that you, Paul?
That's me.
This is Ian, Paul.
Hello, Ian.
Oh, it's Paul. Hello, mate.
It's what? Paul. It's Paul. Hello? Where are you?
I'm here, Paul. How are you doing?
I'm okay. It's weird because you press this thing on the phone. It feels... You can't hear me. You can hear me, can't you?
Okay. I guess say, Steffi, I've got absolutely no idea what you're going on about. Absolutely no. Listen, I'm glad to be educated. Of course I am. Don't like being. Hang on a minute, Paul. I don't like being educated in a passive-aggressive way, but I'm happy to be educated.
What?
But, Paul, be quiet. Paul, not you. Shut up. But
sorry.
Please be quiet. But I'm happy to be educated. But I've got absolutely no idea what you're banging on about now. I will try and put a gap between trans and woman, but some people also don't like that. So, but I've not written it down, and your first 5 tweets were confusing because they implied that it was inverted commas that was the problem. I don't know what's going on. We just played out an interview with a woman that Kath went and met, and I'm getting attacked for it. What have I done? I'm here to learn.
I mean, we said several times that we weren't talking about the whole trans community, and that there are various...
She ain't no spokesperson.
Different strands who oppose each other and stuff, and we didn't want to get involved in that, but we're involved.
We're involved. Of course we're involved, because we put it out, and I get that. Steffi, thank you for the education. Just reel back on the PA, but that is cool. Thank you very much. I shall bear that in mind. Paul, good evening. It's lovely to talk to you, Paul. None of that was addressed at you, and I know you might take that personally, so please don't. What can we do for you tonight?
Yeah, that's okay. I was wondering. Where have you gone? Hello.
I'm here, Paul. What I'm doing is I'm leaving a gap while you say your thing, Paul. So what are you wondering?
Well, I years and years practiced, worked out a meditation technique.
Yeah. Oh, I like meditation.
Yeah, because it came into my head, right, once.
Yes.
And I practiced it ever since, right?
Yeah.
You remember I was on earlier, I think.
Not tonight.
Months ago.
Yeah.
Just when I sort of came on very rapidly and started, I was in a very happy mood.
Yep.
Happy, you know.
Tell us about this meditation technique, Paul.
Well, I don't want to, really.
Okay, it's just you mentioned it, so I assume that you did. But if you don't want to, that's absolutely fine.
Well, yes. I mean, should I? I mean, because
I meditate.
Do you? What do you do?
I use transcendental meditation. I have a mantra.
Oh, I don't use mantra. We could use mantra, I suppose.
Yeah.
You want to
if you don't want to just go into the detail of your meditation technique, why don't you tell us how it makes you feel?
Okay.
How does it make you feel?
Get the energy.
Yeah.
All right, you can get energy, yeah. But generally speaking,
yes.
I use the mind. The mind. No, the mouth is an important technique.
Yeah. Okay.
I call that the mind spirit, right?
The mind spirit.
Yes, but unfortunately, the one I told about this, Daniel, thinks now he's Jesus Christ, you see.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
The bloke that taught you this thinks he's Jesus Christ?
No, I came up with it.
Right.
But I told him ages ago.
Yeah.
He has come up with this idea. This is Jesus Christ.
Okay, well, Jesus Christ. Okay. All right, Paul, listen, I'm going to move on because we've got a lot of calls coming in, but it's always nice to talk to you, mate. You hang in there, okay?
Yeah, okay.
All right, Paul, thank you very much for sharing your wisdom with us. It's appreciated. Let's go to Lee. Good evening, Lee. Hello, Lee.
Hello.
Hello, Lee.
Hello.
What can we do for you?
I'm recommending a game for you to play.
Beautiful. I like games. Go and tell me what it is.
You should play a game called Payday.
Payday. What happens in Payday?
Stuff.
Okay, brilliant. I look forward to it, Lee. Thank you very much indeed. So just remind me that was Payday. Can you write that down, Katherine?
Payday and fun, I've written down.
Payday and stuff happens in it.
Oh!
That was it. So that's great. Let's go to Danny. Thank you, Danny, for your patience. What can we do for you?
Hello, Kath. Hello, Ian.
Hello, Danny, number 24.
Muffin.
No, are you all right? He's hung up. He's not all right. We need to phone back and see if he's all right. What a day. I got a date with a blender. I'm not going to give the phone number out. I don't really want to talk to any more people. But if they choose the phone, I will speak to them.
Oh.
But that's that. Have you got anything, Katherine?
If you can unlock the secret yourselves, you can get in.
I got the key.
Good news for people who like playing Pokemon.
Okay.
Playing Pokemon through childhood creates a unique zone in your brain that enables you to remember the characters. Countless hours spent playing the Nintendo game leaves wrinkles in the brain that respond to the tiny characters such as Wobbuffet, Bulbasaur and Pikachu later in life.
Okay.
These wrinkles are in a region of the brain that typically responds to images of animals. Psychologists at Stanford University say the findings help to shed light on two related mysteries about our visual system. It's been an open question in the field why we have brain regions that respond to words and faces but not to, say, cars, said former Stanford graduate student Jesse Gomez, the leader author of the study.
I think I upset the man that invented Pokemon Go.
Oh, really? Why?
I did an event with him, I hosted a Q&A with the guy that invented Pokemon Go.
Mm-hmm.
And we were getting on really well. And at the start, he was saying, like, OK, let's get this guy. Let's send this guy. I told him my kids loved it. I said, we'll send you some merch. We're going to send you some merch. Then we did the Q&A, and then there was like a point towards the end where, like the last 10 minutes, where he just sort of the vibe changed off him, and I felt the vibe change. It's like, what have I just said? And he wouldn't speak to me afterwards.
Oh,
now maybe I've read it wrong. I mean, I was thinking we could do a whole show on people that I've annoyed that don't speak to me anymore. Matt Allwright. I annoyed Matt Allwright.
Yeah.
We were going to be friends, me and Matt Allwright, and we even started coming, Paul. We started a little band together, and then
you made a joke. And
I made a
land.
joke on Twitter, and he took it. And this is my problem: is I rush in with
He took it all wrong.
He took it all wrong. Thank you very much indeed. Well done. I made a joke. Maybe we'll talk about this tomorrow. I'll do a long list of people that I've peed off. And I apologised privately. I apologised publicly. Just oh, okay, thanks.
Were you operating as a rogue trader at the time, selling illegal Iain Lee and flipping Kath merch?
He was posing as a very old Welsh man and hiding in the cupboard.
That's exactly what I did. It was the strangest.
And as we know, that's Matt's copyrighted disguise.
It was the strangest thing. I was so upset. I'm still up. This was like 3 years ago.
And he's a nice fella, Matt. But you know me, I'm a creep. I'll get on with everyone.
Oh, I like Matt a lot. I liked him a lot. I went to his house, met his kids. We were in a band together, and then he just wouldn't speak to me again. And I get it. It was the joke was the what it was, right?
He dishes it out. He can take it, I'm sure.
This is how I remember it. Okay, and this is how I remember it. John Ronson had just released the book, So You've Been Publicly Shamed. Yeah. About shamings on Twitter, I think. And Matt, and I sort of know them both. And Matt tweeted John Ronson saying, "Really enjoyed your book. I think it gives us something to think about." So I then tweeted both of them, going, "Don't worry, Matt, you'll always be a twat to me." Something like that. It was kind of comically, publicly shaming him kind of thing. It's not the funniest gag in the world. And then after that, wouldn't return my calls, wouldn't respond to my texts.
A 14-year-old could rise above that, surely.
Well, maybe it was.
With all respect to you, Matt, I don't want to follow up with anybody.
Maybe there was something else. This is how I remember it happening, and I felt terrible. I mean, it was all right. I felt terrible.
That's just joshing, surely, isn't it?
Yeah, but obviously it hit him the wrong way. I feel sick in my chest even thinking about it. I was so upset by it, and I apologised. I left messages for him. I texted him, apologised publicly, and he kind of did the, "Hey, look, it's fine. It's okay. Don't worry about it." And that was it. And I've reached out to him like a couple of times in the last couple of years. I reached out to him after the jungle. I reached out to him at something else, and it's always just a very polite, "Hey, great to hear you. Thanks very much." That's it. So that's done. And that breaks my heart because I liked him a lot.
It makes me wonder whether something's going on with him.
Well, or maybe there was something else I did that I am unaware of.
But I think he's a grown-up. He'd have said to you, well, I hope he's a grown-up. He'd say to you, "It's not so much you calling me the TWAT, it's X, Y, or Z."
Yeah.
Maybe. Or what about so-and-so?
Yeah. ...
I
feel really bad about it. Because it was
it's horrible when
it was a bad joke. I can,
And also, when you've got something like that that's unresolved, that does gnaw, doesn't it?
Yeah. But that's where it is, guys. That's where we are. That's number one on the list of people I've annoyed. What you got? What's going on?
I had that on a double cassette.
I've got it from the charity shop. I've heard it a couple of times. I won't be listening to it again. Rather funny.
Sandy, yes.
It's the second volume of it. I can't find the first one.
The Boner World of
Purge. Why don't you purge, Jules? You'll feel better if you purge. Oh, bold.
I'll have this 1 hour, 50 minutes. Beautiful. Thank you very much.
It's a journey home because, as you know, you're not the kind of listener I really want on the show. With all respect, after you've upset Matt Allwright and John Ronson.
Yeah. Well, no, John Ronson is fine.
He says that to you.
Oh God.
I'm joking.
Don't.
Easy, Tiger.
What is on your show tonight, Paul Ross?
I'm telling you what. I'm beyond excited.
Oh.
Tiny piece in the Telegraph yesterday.
Yeah.
Tiny piece about a group of women in Berlin who've come up with a way of combating the increasingly strident and violent fascist marches in Berlin.
Yeah.
They're combat yodelers.
Oh, yeah.
They're a member of a yodeling group. They assemble and they yodel, sometimes rather rudely in German, but it's yodel, and they yodel down the fascists. Yeah. And we've got one of them on the programme. They're kind of anarchist yodelers. Yeah. Their organisation translates as, they call it Yogida, which is a reference to Pegida, which is the anti-Islamist far-right movement.
Right, yeah.
They call it basically yodelling against idiocy, fear and stupidity.
Okay.
And they're just great guests.
Who was the fella we had on, the singer?
Frank Ifield?
Yes.
We have Frank Ifield on the show, man.
She taught me how to yodel.
There's a guest.
Yodel, and I remember you.
Yeah.
Did, yeah.
Let's get him back on, because he said this is a couple of years ago, so let's get Frank Ifield back on.
Offended him or anything in the interim?
No, but I plan to. That absolute SH1T. He was good, Frank.
And also,
Ifield.
we've got a very serious start to the programme. It's very rare we have anybody for like the whole first hour of the programme. We're doing it this morning. A guy who's, you may have seen him on that great show on TV, Hunted, Peter Blexley, former very senior cop, undercover cop.
Is he the bald guy?
No, he's got kind of slick back grey hair.
I know the fella. I know the fella, yes.
And he's just started a campaign to try and track down the perpetrator, it's alleged perpetrator, of an absolutely hideous double murder in Liverpool 14 years ago.
Oh.
The trail's gone cold. He launched it this week. He's doing it off his own back, financing it himself, okay? Prepared to go anywhere and hunt this guy down, or track the guy down.
Yeah.
and he's got the full details with us in the first hour of the programme, so stick around for that. So,
that's,
combat yodelling and a murder hunt.
Have you ever been asked to do the Celebrity Hunted?
No. I'll have to...
I went for the...
Is there money in it?
No.
Oh, not interested.
I went for the meeting, right? I went for the meeting, and they wanted me to take... It was only 2 weeks, and they wanted me to take 2 weeks off work. And I said, what's the fee? I said, no, you don't. It's for cancer. Stand up for cancer.
Well, that's fair enough. You can afford the 2 weeks off.
But I said, but I didn't say it. But I was thinking, well, but are you getting paid as a producer? Is it? I 2 weeks. I thought was a little bit. I'll go and do a night.
It sounds like another bridges burned there.
I'll go and do a night. Also, I'm confused by Hunted. I'm confused by how it works.
I'll ask Peter.
Yeah,
ask that as well. Yeah,
ask him.
He's listening now. He's around the corner.
Peter, how does it work? Because you're not. They told me you're not allowed to use CCTV. And there he is! Look, there he is! Blimey! I love you. I love your show. We'll have a chat because they explained to me. And I was thinking, well, how do they do it then? Anyway, great. That's
I think the real
brilliant.
reason is he's a made guy.
Right.
The whole police thing is a front. He's a member of the mafia.
He's got contacts
TV
on
mafia.
the street.
You know, he knows he's got Duncan Norvell's home address.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys.
It is ridiculously addictive, that show. And I love it because all the ex-coppers and the detectives, they all take it so seriously.
It's like any proper role play.
He got away.
But they get into it, don't they? The celebrity contestants, the people, members of the public, they get into it because you're living it, aren't you?
Yeah, I prefer the civilian one. I prefer it when it's punches.
Also, they're a bit kind of saucier and it means more to them.
Yeah,
They're more committed to it.
I think you're right. Oh, I will be listening to that with your permission on the way home.
Please do.
Paul, thank you very much indeed.
Peter's leaving us after 2 p.m. If you're not home by 2 a.m. If you're not home by then, please, Jules and Sandy. Purge yourself,
right,
Jules.
Stop, because I've got to hit the news exactly because it's IRN tonight. Thank you very much, Katherine. Oh, now I've left myself 5 seconds short. Right, OK, you should have carried on talking.
Podcasts are plenty.
Thank you very much indeed. He knows my filler words. We'll be back tonight at 10. Paul Ross is coming after the news.
Talk Radio. Listen, phone, talk.
Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.